Look around. The world is changing, fast. And while some people hang on to the way things have always been, others are showing us the way they could be. There's a growing movement comprised of those who won't compromise, those with the desire to push things forward coded right into their DNA.
Solo.
And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We got a big game today, and I mean big, like really, really big. Woo! My camera is as far as it goes. I have a lot that probably should be on screen that's not, and we're gonna make it work. I'm very excited. I'm scared. I'm very scared. um. I want to say up front, like if you enjoy the fact that I generally really know the games that I'm playing and I can play at a high level and I know what's going on and I don't have to look through the rulebook all that much except for like edge cases, this is not the playthrough for you. If you just like me and think I'm funny, this might be a great playthrough for you because I'm gonna be hilarious, I'm sure. This is a really ambitious game. Me trying to do this live as the start of the campaign is a really ambitious idea. It's something I wanted to try based on my experiences with Madara and other big campaign games where I've spent hours and hours and hours off screen and then just kind of did a snippet. I just want to try to play through this campaign, and I don't know if that's going to work. If the first 2 or 3 times I try this in the next couple of weeks are just terrible, then I will abort mission. But hopefully you will enjoy the adventure with me as we try to dig into Aeon Trespass Odyssey. This is the beginning of Cycle 1. This was a review copy sent to me by Into the Unknown. Very grateful for them for supporting the channel and sending me a copy of this beast. Now, they only sent me the base game, and only, I don't mean only in anything other than just being more descriptive, because only is a lot. The base game is a lot. For those who don't know, Aeon Trespass Odyssey did just just launched their second Kickstarter with the second printing. There are 2 more cycles that were with the original Kickstarter. It's a whole huge box, and I mean huge. And then there is now going to be 12 more cycles, it seems, with the newest content for like the 12 seasons of Heracles, I think is what it's called. So literally you could buy this stuff, and if you love it, never play another game and have enough content to last you forever. From what I have seen, it is a crazy game. So Sagitt is in the house once again. Team Manticore, oddly on topic, I might add, though probably Team Minotaur has true home field here, is slightly delayed. Sagitt says, I hope you enjoy reading. So how do you fit this on your table? I predict 1 rules mistake per 5.7 minutes. I predict the under. I really do. And I feel simultaneously bad about that. And I'm a perfectionist by heart, and this is going to trigger that neurotic nature of me. Hold on one sec. Speaking of my neurotic nature, realized that wasn't on. So I feel a little bad that like I'm going to make mistakes. It is the nature of this game, but I also think that probably gives a more genuine picture of what this game is. If you are somebody who struggles with rules, I struggle with rules. What you see on my camera normally is me spending a lot of time with games. So this is stretching me. If you are somebody who struggles with rules, you don't have a group to play this with, this might not be the greatest thing for you. I will say from what I've seen so far, it does seem better for true solo play than like Madara, and it's not, I guess it's not true solo play. You have to play 4 characters at all times, right? And I love that the game's really balanced around that. I love that more and more designs are saying this is what we are, this is how many characters you have to control, this is why that works well, and just lean into that. But this game is rough, and I think the thing that bothers me from a design standpoint, and Sadja predicted I would love some things about this and hate some things about it. I so few publishers are really good at making their game max friendly, max accessible right out the box, and there is an unbelievable dearth of player aids with this game in a way that is kind of like unforgivable. There's no, like, it's all in the rulebook, but this is an 82-page rulebook. There's no laminated player card, or even friggin' non-laminated player card. There's no, the back of the book was blank. I actually printed this offline and taped it on, but this is like, I could use 7 more of these and be helpful. I mean, you have these charts at the back of the last page summaries. This is not enough. You know, they definitely needed to do more from my, in my opinion, or could have done more to make this more accessible. Obviously, it's a 9.3 on BGG with a lot of ratings. They did a lot of things really good. So, you know, there's an amazing game here, but you know, it's so rare. I think like the best example of a company that really was like, we are going to make this, we're going to get you playing our game and enjoying it and playing it right as soon as we possibly can. I mean, that's going to be Uprising. I mean, Uprising is just, they have the track on the board. They have just unbelievable like cues, like clues here and there. The whole design is all about being player friendly and player accessible. This is not that. This is, hey, here's an 82-page rule book. You're going to need to read it closely. Here is a 32-page learn to play. You're going to need to read this closely and follow it through it. There's 16 pages to help you with the learn to play, because the learn to play they realized wasn't actually that player friendly off the bat. And then there's 11 pages of errata. And I've read this rulebook twice, and it's still just a lot. Like, there's so much going on in this game. It is so big. It is so ambitious, and I'm enraptured by it at a very real level. And that's why I really was like, you know what, I want to play through this cycle, and I'm going to kind of bring my channel along for the ride. If you want to not watch any of these playthroughs in the next couple of months as I work my way through cycle 1, I totally get it. I'm going to be doing a lot of other content. You'll see my Mage Knight, you'll see my Spirit Island, but this is something I want to do, and I think it will be a fun effort. So yeah, I just like, I'm so like overwhelmed at this, looking at this table. Just like, don't even know really where to start. But I think we can have some fun today for sure. Jonathan, looking forward to this one, but maybe be a scary stream for my game budget. Yeah, dude. Sajid, I would go further. This game is user hostile in terms of rules presentation. Unforgivable. Yeah, I mean, it's a strong statement, man, but I'm resonating. I'm resonating very hard with that statement. Rocket Magnet, hello Lee. Possible rules errors get comment to discussion, helps the algorithm. And Sajid says, and I still rate it a 9. Yeah, I think I'm gonna land there as well. And you know, I had Madara had its problems with rules presentation, but they actually did some things really well with that. Madara is just a more complicated game. Like Madara's, like the Madara's overhead for, you know, trying to play 4 characters at once was just no, like it was just too much. This game might get there for me ultimately, but I do think there's enough little more streamlined nature of the combat and stuff that I think that this is something I will be able to handle ultimately. But there is a steep learning curve in this game, and it's freaking nuts. So what's going on in Aeon Trespass Odyssey? You know, as Jonathan mentioned, you too can own all of Aeon Trespass Odyssey for the grand price of like, I think $600. It's a lot. The base game was 2 something. The expansion box that has cycles 4 and 5 is like 2 something, and then the new content I think is like 150. And you can just get the new content if you want as like a starter. I like what they did. I mean, I've never played Kingdom Death Monster, so I should probably mention that. This game does seem to take a lot of its ideas and the structure from Kingdom Death Monster. I think if I had played that, maybe I would have an easier entree into this game. The minis in Kingdom Death Monster don't come assembled. The minis here do come assembled. There's not. You are going to reuse minis. Like you're gonna face the same boss multiple times. They just get harder and harder and harder, and that just helps like kind of keep the cost down, whatever. So I think that doesn't necessarily bother me inherently. These are primordials. These are really awful things. It makes sense that they would not be easily disposed of. And I always felt that like Cillian and Gloomhaven, like the biggest pieces of cardboard. You're just like, wow, you use all that cardboard and we face it once and then it's dead. It's like, oh, interesting. Um, so that's a thing. Getting this box sorted, like the inserts like almost okay, but not great. So like that's a whole other thing. And then trying to figure out how it all comes together. They could have done a lot. Again, I think as Sad just said, that phrase user hostile is pretty appropriate. But what's going on in this game? We are Argonauts. Yes, from Jason and the Argo. That's right. So we are Argonauts. I believe, were deceased Argonauts, and then we were brought back to life, and we were thrust into the role of a special sort of Argonaut that we can actually control Titans. Now, Titans are like kind of human like, but they're more creature, and they're actually more like war machine, is I think the phrase that the rulebook uses. So, don't get too attached to them. They are a resource, and as all resources, sometimes you have to spend those resources, and sometimes these Titans will not survive. Now, Titans generally are not human friendly, but we have somehow found a way to control these Titans. They live on the Argo, and then we kind of, through some mystical ancient Greek process of submerging ourselves in a liquid, we are able to basically unify ourselves with the Titan for the purposes of a battle. And good thing, because these Titans are now what we need to beat these giant primordials. So if we look at the scale, again, the primordials are a lot bigger and a lot better. So we need 4 Titans to try to come up and defeat the primordial. To give you an idea of like scale of things, like these are supposed to be like big giant walls of columns, right? This is a whole city, that is represented. So the scale of this is really, 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 really big. Like we are huge Titans facing an even huger primordial. I think the Titans are supposed to be 30 feet tall, 50 feet tall. I don't know. It's something bananas. When we go into battle with the primordials, we have this equipment that we have in our armory. Now, if you want, I will not be going to the Learn to Play on the channel. I know there are other channels that have done it. I know Adam Smith from Rolling Solo just put out a Learn to Play preview, pictorial, whatever. Which I haven't watched it, but knowing Adam's work, I'm sure it's phenomenal. So definitely check that out. But ultimately, I've worked my way through the Learn to Play, and we have been able to gather some equipment. Now, the equipment gives us some armor. It gives us some, weapons. That's all we really have at this point. We have some weapons, some armor. We also have our fists in case we lose our weapons. So we can't fight the primordial with just our fist. Again, we are freaking Titans, so we have at least some ability to do that. And I will get deep into the mechanics of the weapons. Now, look, most of what I was going to be in this video today is going to be one long battle, but every round is a lot more than just battling. The battles only happen every 5th or 6th day. Day and round are synonymous in this game, and every round there's like 8 other phases where you are voyaging around on your Argo. So this is, again, a mini representing the Argo. So again, all these Titans live in the Argo to give you a sense of the Argo. The Argo is a huge ship. It is like a floating city more than anything. We're going to voyage around in the Argo. We're going to trigger certain encounters on the cards that we go to. For anyone who has played that other game, anyone has played Seventh Continent, that will look like, again, it's going to feel a little bit similar to that. You're just moving, you're putting out a card, a little bit of indexing the game, and then you're going to like trigger symbols on there. There are natives that live in these lands, so you want to build like relationships with them, and you could be at war with them, you could be friendly with them, you could be allied with them. So you're going to want to see how those relationships develop, because they will have an effect on gameplay. If you are super close to the natives of a certain land, that could give you certain benefits even in battle, which could be helpful. But then there's other stages that we'll go through. So I will kind of walk through all the stages of phase 1. I have carried out most of them off camera. I will summarize what I have done. I did not, as much as I'm sure everyone loves story time with Greg, like this could be story time with Greg. I mean, I could literally read from the cycle book where cycle 1. I mean, there's just so many stories and scripts, and I will say the writing is just top notch. The writing is very, very good. It's very engrossing. It's very engaging. I'm fascinated by this world, and it's really, really well done. But I'm gonna try to keep a lot of the reading to a minimum. Now, so we talked about Titans. Titans can die. If a Titan dies in battle, it does not mean your Argonaut can die. Your Argonaut dies. I have not seen an Argonaut die yet, but Argonauts can die over the course of the campaign, and you just have to get a new Argonaut. Each Argonaut has some things that they're naturally good at, so you'll get like your skills are courage, cunning, endurance, fury, will, and wisdom. You'll get different bonuses along there. At times, you might have to test those during a battle. We have this what the hell do they call this? This is like the center. I thought it was like simultaneously cheesy and cool the way they described this in the game. So it's a triskelion, and they have some fancy trademark name for what they're trying to do. But there is a dynamic relationship between rage, fate, and danger. What I think is cool in this game, you don't have health like in most games. You actually just acquire danger, and if your danger gets above a certain threshold, you will risk dying, or just downright die. And actually, if anything gets to a 9 during combat, that's not good. So your rage, if that hits a 9, or gets over a 9, your fate, if that gets over a 9, if your danger, if that gets over a 9, you are going to be risking certain problems. Now, your Argonauts have woken up from being dead, and they have total amnesia about where they've been. Now they're just like thrust into the role of controlling these Titans. The Argonauts have backstories. So, in addition to learning how to beef up these Titans, and you can breed Titans, and you can find more Titans, and it's all this Titan economy. There is also this stuff with like your backstory, and those are represented by, I believe the pronunciation is Nemo cards, but it's spelt like weird. It's like Mnemos. So the Nemo cards are these. So all my Titans at this point have one Nemo card. Now, again, I've carried out a lot of day one off camera, but this gives a little clue as to our past story. So we have most people brush with death, though when he brushed with you, Tana is paused. You have been trying to outrun him ever since. Now, the Nemo cards, you will have certain things that you can get kind of develop skills along your Nemo cards as you come into contact with certain things that will kind of encounter as we go. There are most of the Triskelion is going to be useful in battle. If you take fate or danger or rage outside of battle, you would just note that on your on your Argonauts little sheet here. And then when you go to battle, this is your starting value. So when we get into battle, so Leocules, he picked up 2 danger outside of battle. When we enter battle, we're already going to be at 2, which means that we'll have some extra cool abilities, but also means that we are closer to potentially dying. So that's not great. However, we're at level 1 of Death Follows. As we get Nemo nodes, we can get it to level 2 and level 3 and beyond. We can only have 2 active Nemos at a time. That's a whole other thing, which I could discuss as we go. But level 1, at any point during a battle, I can flip this card over. It has a discard ability. It doesn't mean discard. It just means, hey, you used it up for this round or this battle. We'll get it back for the next battle. But I can flip this over to when I'm about to perform a power roll, I can add an extra die. That can be very, very important. So we are going to want to use that strategically, and we'll see how that works when we get at the battle. So this is Leocules. I have already, at the beginning of battle, you choose who you want to use. Each Argonaut's going to choose their Titan. All these Titans are functionally the same other than the art. So I just randomly assign them. So Leocules has united with Philoctera, who was a Dreamwalker. That is the only Titan we have access to at the beginning of this game. And Leocules is going to be, again, fighting as her. That is like his representation on the battle mat. There are no colors or anything. She just had the art's different enough. It's usually not that hard to figure out who is who. But again, she has this little like crossbow thing that she's holding onto. So that's who he's fighting with in battle. Yeah, so if she dies, Leocules will live, but again, we're just down 1 Dreamwalker, and then we'll be able to have like a reincarnation of her in the next battle. We just have to note how many Dreamwalkers we have access to on our little Argo sheet, which I'll talk about in a little bit. All right. So that's Leocules. Raz is hooked up with this Titan over here who's got this giant club she's dragging, Solon. Again, all these Dreamwalkers are essentially the same. They have the same special ability. They have the same trauma chart, the same Kratos chart. We'll talk about what that is. And again, I already went and outfitted them with stuff from the armory. I'll talk about that when we get close to the battle. Now, Raz has one Nemo card, Imprisonment, and Imprisonment was who can tell how long it's been? Dark and damp and cramped and lonely. The cell gave you no quarters, just a tiny crack in the wall. However, she also picked up a Faded Nemo card along the way, and I forget exactly when that was. Hopefully I'll remember as we kind of work through all of day one. And this is a bad effect. So you can have, I think, up to 2 Faded Nemo cards and up to 2 Nemo cards at one time. And we'll also be working through this. Now, if we can work through this Faded Nemo card, it actually becomes a little bit of a benefit to Raz, which can be really, really nice. So this was the bad memory that she's trying to overcome is left behind. You were just a burden to them. And this is a limitation on Raz's abilities. She cannot be the last one to take her turn during the Titan round unless there are no other living Titans. And again, we'll talk about that. And if there are no other living Titans, chances are we're going to die. So that isn't great. We have Heraclides. I'm going to be butchering this Greek all along, but that's fine. He's going to be controlling Ulyssia, who is a Dreamwalker. He has the Nemo card of the Siren Survivor. Against all odds, you survived, but why? So the level 1 ability here is he can exhaust this card to discard a condition card, or he can again use this card up to discard discard a condition token, or he can use this card up to discard a condition card. That could be super helpful. We will talk about what that means. Now, if we exhaust a card, we can forego a movement action or a combat action in a future turn to unexhaust all of our cards that are exhausted, and we'll talk about that. By the way, the imprisonment ability says you may reduce suffered knockbacks by up to 2, and I'll explain what knockbacks are as we go. And finally, we have Olympia over here. Olympia is controlling Herodotus, and she has Minoan heritage. Everywhere you look, familiarity, your roots are buried under the Shattered Island, or the Shattered Island is burying into you. And that is level 1 of Minoan heritage. She can exhaust this during movement to gain +1 for this movement. That could be super, super helpful. The base movement of all these Titans is 5, and all these Titans, if we roll and we get a hit, the power roll, we have a default of 1 red die that will roll to try to actually inflict damage, and that will make more sense when we get into the combat. So let me kind of talk a little bit through the learn to play and how we got where we currently are. Lee says, is it a boss battler? Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's definitely comes from the Kingdom Death Monster, genre. You're doing a lot. I mean, I would say it's not just a boss battle. There's so much in between the boss battles, but it in itself is definitely a boss battler. I mean, these friggin' things are super nasty. Sagitt says new content is about 500 on its own. I backed all the first Kickstarter crap, and now the second 2, it will arrive in 3 years anyway, but then we may finish the first box. We are maybe 120 hours in, about 40% through cycle 1. Woof! No clue how they came up with that 100 hours per cycle, or maybe we are too slow. Also, I'm not sure I would play the solo. It is just too much. The team to play I actually quite liked. Made sense to us. The learn to play actually quite. Yeah, the learn to play is fine. But I think the idea, I think they give you the sense that, oh, by the time you get to the learn to play, you'll be good. And I think that's dude, I think your expectations for what this gives you should be a little tempered by this is going to get you started kind of. I mean, they could have made this 3 times as thick, and I think that might have been more helpful, but at some point they had to just do what they did. But yeah, the learn to play is fine. I very much like it. It is very intrinsically woven into cycle 1, and if I were going to replay cycle 1, I would have no problems going through the learn to play again as the prelude. I think they did a really good job with the learn to play, so I do want to be clear about that. All right. So in the learn to play, which I'm just not going to be putting on camera, again, we woke up, we took control of some Titans, we went right into a battle with level 0 of Hecaton. Now, Hecaton is each cycle has, so Hecaton is one of the 2 primordials we're going to face in cycle 1. Each cycle has 2 primordials. We have Hecaton and we have Labyrintharos. There's also a primordial boss for each cycle, and then there's an adversary. We have not encountered either of these two just yet. The first, generally speaking, when you face off against a primordial, you will scratch off what level you're facing, and then the next time you face them, you will face them at a higher level. So I scratched off level 0. Level 0 had some traits. We'll talk about traits as we set up for the boss battle that we're going to basically start today's playthrough with. So we faced off against Hecaton. I managed to defeat Hecaton. I did not lose any Titans. That was super exciting. And then we kind of left that. Now, as we got into the rest of the tutorial, which is essentially 6 rounds, and you actually can follow along with what round you're on by on the back sheet of on the back of this Argo sheet, you would basically, there's a timeline phase. You just check the day that you're on. So we kind of went through all these things. We had some tech upgrades. That was super exciting. We read some passages. We got some Nemo cards. We got some equipment. We got some resources. We made some friends. We made some choices that mattered. You know, all of it. It was a very exciting time. I'm sorry you missed it. All right, so we go back to the tutorial. So we started traveling around the map. We went to some different locations. We found another Titan. We had this thing with some strangers. We took some Argo Fate. There's a whole bunch there, which again, hopefully will become clearer in either this video or the next couple of videos. We also got our Inward Odyssey card. Now, these story cards are really what drive your cycle forward. There are bad story cards and good story cards, and I forget the technical names of both, and just kind of go with it. So we are on 1A of the bad story card. It says Shape of Things to Come. All is not well on Crete. So again, we traveled, we arrived on Crete. Specifically, we relied at the city of Knossos, and there's some cool stuff happening there. So again, we made some friends. We had a blast. We drank some Greek beer. Everyone was happy. I guess it was Greek wine if we're talking about ancient Greece. But anyway, in the absence of Minos, so Minos was like the king of Crete. He has disappeared. The dissent grows. The understaffed horned guard struggles to keep the peace after years of oppressive rule. In dawn's gray mists, primordial silhouettes are seen cresting the mountain ranges, too far to be a threat, too close to completely expel them from the mind. You start to notice strange geometric graffiti adorning the walls in abandoned temples. You hear whispers of change coming from inland. Rules: when an Argonaut gains the Maze-touched affliction, place 1 Doom token on this card, once per campaign. Then gaining Doom makes your journey harder and brings it closer to a gruesome end. Each time you gain Doom, you must place 1 Doom token on your current Doom card. This is our current Doom card. I mean, I guess bad card was a little not technical enough. And then when there are 5 or more Doom tokens on this card, flip it to side 1B. Place excess Doom tokens on side 1B. Now, I do wish that if the limit's 5, like again, just put like the number 5 in like the corner, right? Like it's very small print, and it's just like little things like that that just make this game like not as player friendly as I would hope. Because if I just want to put that up there, and like what's the threshold again? I can't just like lean over and be like, oh, it's 5. It's like I need to actually pick the card up. Until I just do that 17 times, and then I'll remember, hey, it's 5, idiot, stop looking. Now, on the good side of the ledger, we have the story card, and we're trying to get these progress tokens. So the absent rule: as the Argo leaves the Knossos port, you look to the Horned City one last time. Not many have come to see you off, but a glint from the palace confirms your suspicions. Spying eyes are set on you. The Cretans delivered fuel and supplies as promised, enough to subsist, but only just. Is it all they could spare, or a short leash? Either way, you should stick to the coast. Without much to go on, you fall back on the basics, scout the island, question the locals. Rules: collect progress. If you skip the tutorial, we did not skip the tutorial. We are going to go to cycle map 27. So this happens all at the end of the learn to play. We place it on the table, place the Argo on that tile, mark day 1 on the timeline, proceed to the first step of the campaign round. To progress through the story, you must gather progress. Each time you gain progress, place a progress token either on the current story card or on the Inward Odyssey card. If the Minoan guide is with you, immediately place 1 progress token on this card. When there are 6 or more progress tokens on this card, flip the card to side 1B. Now, because I'm not the smartest person, why does it say proceed to mark day 0? Like 0 should have been already marked because it's like T6 and 0. I guess that's like if we didn't do the learn to play, that would make sense. All right. I did not take the Minoan guide because it felt like a trap. Like basically the king's daughter wanted to give me, I think, her sister, so I guess the king's other daughter, to go with us. And I was like, I don't know, that feels sketchy. So instead, I took the storyline path where I ended up with the old spinner, and I also ended up with a priest. So, I got a priest on board now and the old spinner. So you may dismiss the old spinner during the story step. If you do discard. The wizened woman keeps to herself. When she thinks nobody is looking, she fiddles with her fingers as if she was rolling a ball of yarn. So this is a clue card. Clue cards are super interesting, and this is it's a clue card, but also this is ally, and I was told to get cycle 1 ally from the clue card deck. So I did, and this is on top of a bunch of technologies, and we'll talk about what those all do, assuming I ever get through this battle that is about to take up a long time. All right, looking at the chat. To learn to play, but the first real battle will be tougher, says Saget. Yeah, but death is not the end. It is only the beginning. Ooh, interesting. We took the guide. Yeah, I probably should have taken the guide because I would have a progress token. Oh, now there's this other card over here. So when you get progress tokens, you have a choice. There's a choice we're making. It's saving all our lives. All right. Back for the singing. Come for the game, stay for the singing. All right. Inward Odyssey, Truth of the Labyrinth. You know precious little about the grand vessel you call home, who built it, for what purpose, how did you come to be on board? There are vast spaces below deck, more than should be possible, even taking into account the massive size of the ship. Every day brings a new discovery, a new secret to be unraveled. Your Inward Odyssey has begun. Now, we gained a progress token before I had the Absent Rule, which is the 1A story card. We just had the 1A Inward Odyssey. Now, the rules for Inward Odyssey are as follows. When there are 2 progress tokens to discard, we discard them and we gain 1 knowledge. Now, knowledge is a resource that goes on our ship. It's Argo knowledge, a very special kind of knowledge. When you reach a given knowledge level, during the story step, after all other events, resolve the corresponding Inward Odyssey adventure. And then it tells us the number. As you resolve the last adventure from this list, flip the card. And I think we might roll a die to determine which one we do, or I don't think we do them in order, but either way, there's like adventure tracks here, and they correspond to this, and we do the last one, we flip this over, and things happen. Now, you have to make a decision when you get a progress token. Do you want it to go on Inward Odyssey, or do you want it to go on the story card? Inward Odyssey can give you some abilities, some extra knowledge about your ship, and stuff that can make things easier. But you really do need to progress through the story, because if you go too slow through the story, you're going to lose, and you only have 80 rounds to get this done. I say only 80, but again, some of these rounds are going to be a lot shorter than others. They are not all battles. All right. So I think I've talked very vaguely about the learn to play, the tutorial battle, blah, blah, blah. We ended up in Gnosis, and we did some things, and now we just go to paragraph 001 of the main story section of Cycle 1. So, rulebook over here, we have Cycle 1. The Cycle 1, at the beginning of the rulebook, it tells us the special rules that are related to Cycle 1. Mostly they relate to, the name of this thing is the truth of the labyrinth. So it mostly explains how these labyrinth tokens work. It also talks about these despair tokens, and we get them in battle. They give us -1 precision or -3 precision. Precision makes it we're less likely to actually hit the primordials when we were attacking them. It talks about trample, maze touch, like different things that we might encounter in a cycle, so we can always have this reference to come back to. We need it. Now, additionally, one of the things I do like, I don't love it, I do like it. The rulebook does have an appendix with some page numbers. So it's like this is just an index, and then they have these weird glossaries. I wish they put the glossaries at the back of the book next to the index. That would have made more sense to me, but what do I know? I'm just a random dude on YouTube. All right, so this is going to be still really the end of the tutorial because it told us to come here and read this. There's a lot here. This is where I chose a party leader. At this point, I actually chose Raz. So there's this concept of party leader. There's also this concept of priority target, and we'll talk about that. And this is where I basically chose to remember the old woman. There was a wisdom test. I succeeded. I got more diplomacy with the Minoans, so we track our diplomacy here. So I'm at +1 right now with the Minoans after certain choices I made. At some point they wanted to yeah, I didn't take the guide, which actually hurt my diplomacy with them. I was like, no, forget you, you go away. But I had a chance to get more. But really, until right now, I'm neutral with the Minoans, the Labyrinthians, and the Hornsworn. I'm actually unfriendly with the Hornsworn, which is probably not great. So, but we do want to get up to friendly and to aided at some point. If you ever get to at war with any of the factions, that's it. There's no loss or gain for the rest of the cycle. Like that is your fate with that faction. And I'm assuming being at war with one of these factions is probably not the greatest thing you want to do, but it does seem to be a zero-sum game with the Hornsworn and the Minoans. So it seems like as you get closer to one, you're probably going to start becoming the enemy of the other, which is fine. It's just fine. All right, so we did some stuff. We got some. We could have gained some Argo fate, but I chose not to. I actually rolled. We succeeded. Life was grand. I don't. Then what it tells us to go. Then it told us to go to page 68 or story 68. I don't exactly remember what happened there. Yeah, I don't think any of this. Right, that's where I gained the Nemo card. So like all this stuff kind of tells you what to do, and we'll definitely see some of this, but I just was trying to get this ready just to get to the battle stage for today. All right, once we finished all that pretty much ended the tutorial. So that was day 6 of the tutorial / day 0 of the campaign, and then we got to a new day. There are 7 steps in every round, and a day and round are pretty synonymous in this game. You have a movement step, a timeline step, an exploration step, a expedition step, an encounter step, an advancement step, a story step, a doom step, an end step, and then you go back to the beginning, rinse and repeat. So in day 1 of our campaign, what I did was we had our movement step. So in a movement step, you have to move one location and only one location. You cannot move multiple locations. So in a movement, I had the choice to move to number 26. I could move up to 22, or I could have moved down to 32. I chose to move down to 32. When I moved to 32, I went through the stack of locations. I got number 32, and then we connected so that everything faces the same direction. I now move the ship here. That is my movement. Now it opens up 3 different paths. Now remember, this card told me I probably should stick to the coast. Why not? I'll stick to the coast. However, since I left an explorer tile, so a tile becomes explored at the end of a round. So since I left an explorer tile, and there was a city there, that is now my last visited city. That means I'm going to need to find another city until I can go back and use negotiation abilities to Adnasis, and that will all become clear hopefully in time. Now, once we get to a new, actually, before I do that, we're going to go to the timeline step. So again, some of these steps are very, very quick. On the timeline step, I took out a handy dandy pencil, which is over here, and I marked off, hey, I'm now in day 1. And once we get to day 01, we'll notice there's a couple of symbols there. One of those tells us that we can actually do a technology upgrade, but it is not a battle upgrade. I forget the other name. It is a structural upgrade. So we'll talk about that. That happens later it's the advancement step, which is later. But it also says, hey, you have a timeline battle that you need to take care of. When you do a timeline battle is when you choose which primordial you need to face. I think you can choose between, I don't know. So I chose Hecaton, but it's not totally clear if I could choose or if I had to face Hecaton, but we'll talk about that as we go. But I got to the timeline step, and then that timeline step done, I just checked. Now, if that was check number 80, hold on one sec. Sorry, I felt the coughing fit coming. If there was no more to check, then the campaign would have lost because we've already spent 80 rounds and the game would have been over. All right, now we go to the exploration step. So we're going to resolve these symbols. Positive symbols only get resolved once. Negative symbols get resolved every time you go back. You'll notice on the tile that I just left, it has a doom symbol. So if I go back to Gnosis, I'm going to have to add another doom symbol onto our doom card. So probably not a good thing to do. So again, negative things, you're going to want to have to be very sure, do I really need to go back there? Because that's going to suck if I have to add a doom symbol multiple times. Again, that's one. If we run out of story cards, game is absolutely over. There are other symbols you might see. You might find another Titan. Now our ship has a Titan limit of 10. We only have room in the ship for 10 Titans. Again, these are big suckers, and we already have 9. We got 8, and then I found one in a prior exploration, so I have 9 Titans. There's also an Argonaut ability limit of 2, and that's, again, I don't have any Argonaut abilities at this point, so I don't think that matters too much, but just did want to mention that. Again, there's a lot of information on this sheet. A lot. It's crazy. So now we go there. The next part of exploration is we're going to do an exploration draw. Now, the exploration draw is you're going to get all the cards. Now, it tells you exactly what cards to put in here at the beginning of the cycle. Additionally, there are times that you have an acclamation where you will take out certain numbers and put in certain numbers. Now, one of the things that's really, again, not super user-friendly is the cards have, like, have production numbers in the bottom left, but they also have these other numbers and circles which are right next to it. So it's trying to tell you, it tells you to put in certain number cards, and not just once but twice, because I'm real smart. I was using the bottom numbers. Don't do that. Look at the circle numbers. They're the ones that they're telling you to use, but again, that's never made clear in the rules, at least not in the 82 pages I was looking at. Perhaps I missed it. There was a lot of things in that book. So this was the exploration deck. The exploration is super interesting. You go through the cards, and I already did this off camera, so I'm not going to redo it. I'll tell you what I got in my exploration. I was able to get 2 armaments and 1 trireme. So these are mortal resources. But you take an exploration card, you flip it over. If it has that symbol at the bottom, which is like a deck with an X through it, that means you stop. You get, so this says weapons cache or cache. Maybe it's not cache. I think it's cache. Gain 2 armament resources. Now, if I was denounced, I gain 1 armament resource instead. Now, if I was denounced, that means if my relationship with the faction featured on this card was such that I was on a diplomatic rating of denounced, I wouldn't get the 2 armaments. I would only get the 1 because my ability to trade with people there would be less. You'll also see this symbol that refers to the adversary. If I see 2 adversary symbols at any one exploration step, that means that the adversary enters the board and starts chasing me. I don't, but I think I ignore that for a while. The rules are a little unclear about that. I don't think I absolutely do that, but if I get 2 exploration symbols, I'll figure it out at that point. But ultimately, this would have been the end of my first draw, and then we repeat the process, and we have our second draw. This one says get 2 trireme resources. That also has an X, so you stop. If the symbol at the bottom right was not the X, if it was that, then you actually can keep drawing, so the exploration step might be more and more exciting for you. Unfortunately for me, that's all we got. So again, I added those resources to my my cargo hold, and you'll see what's going on here. So you have the mortal resources of trireme, monuments, and armaments, and then we have a cargo hold where we have some resources. Now, since I already battled Hecaton and learned to play and I won, I already got myself a muscle cluster, a raw ambrosia, and a calcified knucklebone, because who doesn't want a calcified knucklebone? There's also cores and stuff you can get. I don't have any of that, but again, we will start getting more of that stuff as we go, assuming I don't die on this very first battle. Oh, one thing I do have, there's one resource on here which is super interesting. We have a, what do they call this? Sisyphus Tear, I think, which is represented somewhere over the rainbow. Where are you, dude? Oh, yeah, here you go. I have 1 Sisyphus Tear. I think I'm saying that right. Sisyphus Tear? Is that a tear? It looks like a tier. Maybe it's a tier. I don't know. Sky tier, sky tear, whatever. And that means that if a battle goes away that sucks for me, I could use that as a start over. And you only have a certain number of those, though. They seem like they're probably hard to get. There's also a choice matrix on the back here. So as you make certain choices, it will tell you, hey, check off the choice matrix. This choice matrix, from what I understand, actually carries over from cycle to cycle. So you're going to want to kind of not throw papers out until you're sure you don't need any more information on there. So I've already checked off A7. I forget why. And E7, I believe E7 had to do with me getting the old spinner instead of the guide, and, you know, me making bad choices. So again, lots of papers. The game comes with 0 pad of paper. So like all this stuff of the Argonaut sheets and stuff, you are going to need to find a way to print those out. And like it is on their website. They make it pretty user friendly in that sense. I kind of do wish they at least gave you a starter sheet of like 8 would have been nice, but what do I know? All right, I mean the same with the Argonaut sheets. You are kind of on your own to develop all those, to print all those out, and you just have to find the files on their website. Woo! All right. What is going on? Go with the flow says just seeing this during lunch break. I'm so excited for this playthrough. Thank you. Go with the flow. Ophir says ATO. Wow, wow. Yeah, I'm not smart, Ophir. I think I'm getting dumber in my I'm making bad choices. Somebody stop me. Saget, Greg was clearly annoyed by how simple the games he generally plays were proving to be, so he had to go for something more complex. Saget says you do the Inward Odyssey in order. Cool. Thank you for the heads up. Ophir says awesome. Behemoth game I adore. Into the Unknown company who built this massive game and keep doing it with the Kingdom Forlorn and the new ATO expansion. I do not know Kingdom Forlorn. But no, very cool. I reached out to them on a whim, and they were like, yeah, and they shipped this thing direct from Poland, and I was thrilled. I was very excited that they're giving me this opportunity, making it a little bit easier for me to feature this game, especially not having to wait 2 months for the 2 years for the reprint. It was kind of nice. Also, Saget, also, can we point out how they do not give a single printed player sheet or Argo sheet with the game? We broke out the box, all of us ready to play straight ahead, and realized need a printer. You beat me to it, sir. Well, if you're going to that, amazes me how a smallest company can create this. Saget, they are not that small, have been active in the minis realm. Sebastian, hey, are you backing a new Kickstarter? I'm probably going to get some new content. I'm not exactly sure how all in I'm going to go. I don't know if I need, like, I mean, I might just get the new Hecaton stuff and not get cycle 4 and 5. Like, I don't know. I want to get a better sense of the campaign and kind of look into it more. I've been super busy. I was away all last week. Got back, construction project in my house, trying to learn this. It is. By the way, I'm rocking the solo playthroughs Wolf T-shirt. Supposedly, Spring sent me a 25% discount. So if anybody is interested in this really weird shirt, like, I'll have that in the description below later. So it's 25% discount given to you by Spring for me to more aggressively promote my Spring products, which I don't know, they're goofy, but I love them, dude. This is a pretty quality shirt. I'm very happy with it. I just got another one, and my dad has a sweatshirt, which is awesome. And yeah, I'm very impressed with the customer service too. Like, they've been really really fun to work with. Anyway, Sebastian Saget says Sebastian. Greg probably won't. I am backing him over. Ooh, Greg probably won't. Oh, that's harsh prediction from Saget. I if games I do like to get the expansions. I mean, I did when they sent me Uprising. You know, Nemesis games sent me Uprising. I backed the expansion kick stuff for there. Remember, like games I really like, I definitely do it. I'm trying to think. Rock Manor sent me the base game instead of Watch. I have backed and visited Isle, so yeah, there are things that I will go ahead and happy to support. You know, companies, especially those that are supporting the channel. Sebastian says I'm torn if I need another 600 hours. Saja says you also have a dubstep. Another fun fact: we headed north originally. I'm doing the anti-Saja campaign. Saja says timeline battle you can choose unless specifically directed otherwise. So at the end of the day, you will have 5 Titans left. Saja says adversary ignore for now. Will spawn later if I remember right. Yeah, I think that it's unclear because they're like, hey, ignore symbols, but then it's like if you draw a second one, you have to put it on the map. And I'm like, well, am I ignoring them or am I not? Like, I don't know. Rulebook, 80-page rulebook. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into that, and I'm sure it's not easy. All right. So that's the exploration step. We're done with that, I think. Yes, done. Great, let's go on. Resolve acclamations, there are none. Resolve adversary battle, if any. Adversary battle would be with the adversaries chasing us, not with the timeline battle, so we don't have to do that. Expedition step. If the Argo is on an unexplored tile, resolve any hub or R&R adventure. So there's other symbols we're looking for. If either of these specific symbols showed up, it would send us to the storybook in the cycle, and we would resolve more adventures, and again, more interesting things would happen, but again, none of that is happening on this tile. All right, we're now going to go to the encounter step. Timeline battle. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. So, one of the practically difficult things about this game uh, one of the many, is how you transition from the map to the battle board. It's a lot. There's no good way that I have to do it with the space that I'm working with. So for me, it's just like, oh, we're about to have a battle. All right, this just comes off, and the map's not that big right now, so this is not that hard. As the map gets bigger, I'll have to figure out systems that work for me. But essentially, everything from the map goes away so we can get this ready for battle. Great. So we're going to do a timeline battle. I'm going to choose to face off against Hecaton. If I'm chasing us against Hecaton, I scratched off this already because I played like a couple of rounds yesterday just to kind of get the rules a little bit fresher in my head. And again, just I did want to do it on camera, so I did not finish that to completion. I can't tell you if it was going well or not. It was like I had like 3 wounds in the wound pile, but one of my art titans was bruised and 2 were knocked down. So I don't know where that would have went. I don't have that much experience with the game, but yeah, I I don't know. Hopefully today goes a little bit smoother than yesterday was going. We set up the battle map. You'll notice it tells you if we're doing a Hecaton battle, Hecaton level 1, 2, or 3. We set it up like so. These are all in the back of the cycle book. If we got the Hecaton 4 or higher, we would have other stuff. This tells us what terrain to set up. Every piece of terrain comes with a description card of what that terrain is. We have 2 city tiles on the board. Those are 3x3 tiles. We have 12 or 16 columns. Now, the columns, we also have this labyrinth card out because we might see some labyrinths, and we'll explain that as we get there. So this tile is an obstacle, it's obscuring, and it's destructible. If you push the primordial into it, something happens. If we get pushed into it, we go into crash mode. Crash isn't great. We'll explain that as we go. And then the city tile has the keywords of observing and inhabited. These keywords are huge. They're very important. So obscuring and inhabited, reinforce destructible when the primordial moves into this tile or a titan is involuntarily moved into it. Flip this terrain tile and the terrain card. It gives us cover. So titans have +1 evade on their evade rolls. That will make so that every die will have +1 pip added to it effectively, and then we go from there. So inhabited, so we can check our keywords because I'm forgetting exactly all the rules about inhabited. So we're going to go to our index. It tells us that inhabited. There's this whole there's a lot in this book, man. All the stuff about the Menaces Theater, I feel like should probably not have been on the main rule book. But I digress because it's like I don't care about any of that right now. Inhabited, we're going to go to page 68. So we go to page 68. What is inhabited? Apply any bonuses and penalties listed on the terrain card based on your diplomacy score with that local faction. If this terrain tile is destroyed, lose -1 diplomacy with the local faction. Oh, that's super awful. So thank you. That's great. I will go ahead and read the rest of these just to be thorough. So we have obscuring. Obscuring tells us, where are you? Obscuring. Obscuring tells us, nope, I'm in a different index because they really needed to separate. Like this is, you know what? Like Gluma Killport does this too, where it's like instead of just giving us one master glossary, we're gonna have all these mini glossaries with an index, and like that's just a really not user friendly way to be. And by yeah, this book is definitely already starting to wear a little bit. The fact that I brought it to a really on vacation to read it was probably a part of that, so I'm not going to totally blame them for that. Obscuring, page 68 as well. Are these all on page 68? So obscuring, this tile blocks line of sight. That's super helpful. Destructible, when a titan is involuntarily moved into this tile, the tile is destroyed. Note, if a titan is knocked back, it ignores non-obstacle terrain tiles it moves through. Therefore, it will not destroy a destructible tile unless it ends its movement on it. Possible subtype is reinforced destructible, which we will talk about it. If it ignores non-obstacle tiles it moves through, but that is an obstacle, so it does not ignore that. And the city is not an obstacle, so that's interesting. Reinforced destructible, again, when the primordial moves into this tile or a titan is voluntarily moved for this terrain tile and corresponding tile, it then becomes destructible. And then if it's destroyed, I lose the thing with the I lose the thing with the thing. All of it's becoming clear now. Kind of. Obstacle. Titans cannot move through obstacles. Many move like abilities interact with obstacles. See knockback, pushback, pull, in the keywords list section on page 63, because why would we not have all the keywords in one master list when we can have multiple lists to make your play to double your pleasure, or triple it, or quadruple it, whatever turns you on. All right, we need to go back to the rest of this battle setup because we are halfway there. Whoa, we're halfway. Actually, we're more than halfway there. But I'm going to set up our Titans in the spaces where Titans go. So this is going to be the Titan that has to do with Leocules. Raz's Titan is going to go here. And then Heraclides, butchering that, is going to go over here, like his Titan. And Olympia's Titan is going to go here. I'm going to use the Argonaut names and not the Titan names. It just seems better. Additionally, we're going to go here and put Hecaton on the board. Now, Hecaton has a front, doop, and a back, doop. That's sounds that he makes whenever I scan him in front and back. Introduction. The fallen priests of Demeter believed that the primordial known as Hecaton was created in the image of the long extinct Centimanes giants. A biological impossibility made entirely out of arms and hands and fingers, yet so animal-like in its behavior that you would swear it was one of Gaia's precious children. On its tough stone-like skin, it bears the maze pattern, the sign of the labyrinthian plague. This ungodly symbol marks it as one of the primordials serving the labyrinth, or the punished, who is said to have unleashed it. It does not sleep, it does not tire, it does not relent. Its eyeless gaze makes your crew ill at ease. Does it think? Does it feel? Now, battle setup. We use standard preparations. So we go to page 34 of the rulebook, and we're going to follow these steps. Most of these I've already done off camera. We put the battle board in the middle of the table. Thank God they told me that, because I don't know where I would have put it elsewhere. Decks and tokens. Shuffle the trauma decks. All those decks are shuffled. So we have the minor trauma. Just trust me, they're just shuffled. It is what it is. We have the minor trauma deck, the major trauma deck, the grave trauma deck, and the obel deck, which is super fun. 50-50. You die or you don't. But if you're me, you probably die. I actually did pull from the obel deck during the tutorial battle, and I survived miraculously. It was never happened before. There's also a Kratos deck and the Moros deck. Those are not shuffled. If I have to draw from them, I'll probably just roll a die, actually, because they're just, again, a lot of small decks of cards here. But those are there. I don't exactly know what they do, but they are a thing that we need to worry about. And then we have Kratos tokens, which are these tokens here. There are different types. I will explain those as we go. There are attack dice and there are power dice. The attack dice are all D10s. The power dice are all D6s of various colors. Red power dice are the weakest form of power dice, then black, then white, because we are pretty new to the world of Titans and Titan breeding and etc. Most of our dice will be red. We are going to place our Argonaut portrait cards and the Nemo card in front of them. The Nemo cards are important to keep nearby because they have special abilities on them. And then we're going to have all the Triskelions. So we have the Triskelion, again, Rage, Fate, Danger, Rage, Fate, Danger. And these are not reset at the beginning of the battle. Everything is set to a 0 because they're reset at the end of a battle. So we did the battle and the learn to play. Everything reset to 0. And since then, Leocules picked up 2 danger. So that is now, we're coming into this battle with 2 danger on Leocules. All right, and again, that merges as he has this interesting relationship with Mrs. Crossbow over here. So, you start with the Triskelion stats you've accumulated over the course of the other phases. Titans. Each player chooses the Titan they will control in the available Titans and takes his Titan sheet. If at least 4 Titans are available, each Argonaut must control 1. It does not have to be the same Titan they controlled in a previous battle. Remember, you cannot take more than 1 Titan of the same Argo breed class into battle. So these are not Argo bred. So we have 4 Dreamwalkers. We basically gathered them during our travails or travels in previous days. Gear loadouts. Players as a group assign gear cars from the Argo Armory to Titans. This is also not clear in the rulebook. You have 2 hand slots. Some gear takes up 2. You also have some cars that give you 3 hand slots. We don't have 3 hand slot Titans. So we don't have any octopi as Titans yet, but I'm assuming we're going to get there. Maybe not exactly an octopus, but you get the point. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, I just put this gear out. This might not be the most optimal build, but we're going to make it work. To Leocoles, he has his fist card because why not? If you have a weapon card and you lose it, you inherently go down to fists anyway. So there's really no reason to do that. But I had the fist card, so I just put it there because again, the boat mace he has is only one hand. Now, literally, this is a boat. Like these Titans are huge. It is using a boat as a weapon. And it has certain rules. It tells you how many dice you roll if you attack with it. It tells you how to modify your dice if you roll with it. And then if you hit, it tells you how many power dice you roll for each hit that you roll. Additionally, there are certain abilities like this keyword. So break one. This has a keyword reinforce one. So this is for armor, but you can only do the reinforce one if you take one fate. If you're at 9, you cannot go above 9 voluntarily. So you have to stay at 9. And I'll talk about what reinforce does, what break does, etc. as we go. Now the fists are interesting. They're your baseline weapon. This weapon can be used as a single-hand weapon with the following modifier. Instead of rolling 2 dice to try to hit, you only roll 1. So if you're carrying 2 weapons for whatever reason, you don't want to drop the other weapon, you just going to use your fist instead. Well, that's fine, but again, instead of rolling 2 dice like you would normally, you're only rolling 1. And for each hit, you're only rolling 1 red power die. So the boat mace is a much better weapon because for each hit, I'm rolling 2 red dice, but and again, I'm only going to roll 1 die for each because a fist I would roll 2 if I didn't have another weapon in my hand. But since I have another weapon in my hand, I'm only rolling 1 die anyway, right? So the boat mace is just objectively the better weapon for the Ocules. And then we have this armor, which I'll talk about as we go. Raz, how did I fill her? How did I build her out? So she has armor. She has the sail spolas. It has +1 courage. So her courage actually was +1. So all these like Nemo cards, I should have said, have 3 um have they give you bonuses. So like she has +1 to endurance and +1 to wisdom. She also starts with +1 courage, like just inherently, and then she lost a courage because of the faded Nemo card, and then I gave her the sail spolas, which gives her +1 courage. So her courage is like has leveled out at +1. So it's +1 -1 with the faded Nemo, +1 with the sail spolas. This also has if I take a fate, I can discard this card so it's not available for the rest of the battle to get a second chance. And that's if I draw, I believe, I'd have to look it up again, but I believe if I draw a trauma card that I don't like, I can put it back and try to draw another trauma card. And now the obel cards, the ones that kill you, are still trauma cards, except the only difference there is when you draw an obel card, it gets reshuffled back in immediately. So I can't guarantee myself living through an obel draw because a second chance. I could just give myself 2 bites at the apple, so to speak. Sadger says, just go and ask for the rest as a review copy. The first 3 to 4 wounds are usually pretty okay. After that, once you get into level 2, 3 AI and wound cards, fights get tricky. The escalation idea works great. You know you like multiple lists. Of course you do. I love multiple lists. They're just so awesome. I love flipping through books. It's my favorite part about being a board gamer. Anyway, she also has the Siren Teeth. Now, the Siren Teeth, we got them because we defeated a Siren. Yeah, we did. And that happened before, off camera. And when you're attacking with the Siren Teeth, you roll 3 dice. For every hit, you roll a red die in your power roll. It has opening 1 and reposition 2. I will talk about those abilities as we go. Heraclides is fitted out with his fists. He also has a Kratos Kopis. The Kratos Kopis is just is just a better weapon. When you roll 2 dice. When you attack, you roll 2 dice. +1 modifier to each die, and you roll a red die for each hit in your power roll. It has carving 1. It also has sacrifice. So carving 1 is if we do a hit, we roll a d10. If we roll an 8 plus, we get a mortal resource, I think is how that works. And then the sacrifice is during the first ability window. I can take a danger voluntarily to place 1 break token in the Kratos pool, which would be available for me and my own attacks in a damage roll. And we'll talk about the Kratos pool and all that. I'm going to use this little thing to indicate what's in the Kratos pool. That will be something to manage throughout the battle. And then finally, we have Olympia. Olympia's got her fist, but again, inevitably her best weapon is going to be the Shipwrecker Shield. The Shipwrecker Shield can be used as armor as well, I think, because you can reroll evade dice. I don't know. There's a lot going on there. But she's going to roll 2 dice when she attacks. She is going to, for each hit, she'll roll a red die in the power roll. Now, again, we're rolling dice to attack. We're going to have to look at the Hecaton itself. The Hecaton level 1, when we roll, we only hit on a 7+. The Hecaton has 6 movement in its movement phase, and the Hecaton has 10 health in a sense, so we need to actually get up to 10 wounds before we defeat it. Every level 1 body part card and level 2 body part card counts as 1 wound. If we actually wound a level 3 body part card, that counts as 2 wounds. That's going to be very hard to do. I haven't done it yet. We'll see if I can pull it off today. You'll also notice that the Hecaton has a card over here called the routine. You want to make sure that it's on the normal side, not the Nestus routine card side. And we also have the signature attack, which behaves like an AI card, and we'll talk about AI cards as we go, but it is not an AI card. It's a signature card that goes there. Sometimes some things will tell us to perform the signature attack of the Hecaton. What that means is we just carry out that card. Woo! All right. You're quite well stacked for how early you are in a cycle. Don't remember us having this much stuff lying around, but alas, Sagittarius has no weapons yet, though you kind of want to have those ASAP. No range weapons yet. You kind of want to have those ASAP. And Sagittarius says, Shipwrecker, correct. A lot of items are both attack and defense. George A., I'm watching this with a lag. Just to note that Nemo doesn't have a silent M. It has the same linguistic root as the word amnesia. So the MNE sounds like Minos cards? All right. George A. dropping the knowledge like always, man. I hope your playtesting for Elder Scrolls is slamming, dude. I'm excited to see. I mean, I genuinely am intrigued to see where they go with the game. Probably more intrigued than excited. I'm intrigued because I do have friends buying it, so I will be playing it for sure. It is what it is. All right, let's make some magic happen, kids. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, kind of. What do I need? Oh, we need to go page 34 to setup. Here we go. Argo abilities. I don't have any Argo abilities yet. Primordial, place a primordial sheet there. That's fine. Terrain and title. Terrain and Titan placement. Find all. Use terrain cards. That's all done. We're all good there. Great. Primordial positioning. Place the Hecaton miniature on the indicated space in the center of the board. Determine face and direction by look at the bottom card from the minor trauma deck. So we take the minor. Oh, I'm going to make a mess of this. Take the minor trauma deck, we flip it over, and there's an arrow pointing to the left, which means that this dude is facing that away. Now, facing can be important because it determines front. Anything from this line across, because again, this is their front, so anything there across is in front of this jerk. Anything like adjacent, like on the side or behind, is not in front. You know, pretty self-explanatory. So evolution, mark the leftmost empty spots of the Hecaton evolution track. I already did that, again off camera. And then this box indicates Hecaton's level during battle. So they get you, what you cross off is the level you are facing at that time. And then additional setup, follow additional battle setup instructions introduced by traits. If any, there are no traits. And then we'll come back here for aftermath after the battle is over. Done. Rulebook, I'll keep you handy. I'm going to need you. So I'm already butchering this all day. Meme is the Greek word for memory. Meme. Hey George A, great to see you around, says Sagitt. Awesome. Woo, let's make some magic happen. So we're gonna start our battle is what we're gonna do. Now, small deck of unique cards. I'm going to just roll the die because it's what I do. So we have 6 AI cards to start the game. This is the how the battle starts. So the AI cards are the AI for the boss that you're up against. There's 6 of these. They're all level 1s. You can tell from the back. It's really well. Like this whole part is actually, I think, very well designed and very player friendly, and kind of easy to get a hold of, and the learn to play does really help that as well. So we have the AI cards, the 6th level 1 Hecaton cards, and we have the 6th level 1 body part cards for the Hecaton as well. So we're going to the primordial always has their first is always first to act in battles, generally speaking. So I'm going to roll a die. I rolled a 4, so this is going to be the AI card for the first round of our battle. So, what is the action of our friend, Mr. Hecaton? Mr. Hecaton, we're going to be formal here, says that he is going to, and again, I've already given the priority target to Leocules, so he's already got two danger. Um, let's we'll give him the problems to start the game. We'll see where we go from there. So he's going to go after. So it's a smash ability. The Hecaton smashes his front hands as if with frustration. He's very frustrated. It's a very frustrating life as a primordial. So he's going to choose his target. Then we're going to go down until we find one target that applies. Priority target in range. Look, it's only going to be a movement of one. Again, adjacency is only orthogonal or cardinal directions. It is not diagonal, so that's something to point out. So as long as in range just means can it move to get adjacent, it absolutely can. It has a movement value of 6 at level 1. So it is going to move to get adjacent to our boy Leocules, or at least his Titan, remembering what's going on with this game. So the primordials always move, like they move kind of strange. They move like as if they're following a lightning bolt pattern. Because again, they're only moving, they're not moving diagonal, they're only moving orthogonal. And you can choose, they're going to use the shortest path to get adjacent. And then if there's any kind of decision to make, you can choose how you want it to move, right? So since I could move it this way, and as they're moving, they're always going to turn to face where they're moving, or I could move it this way, and now it's just going to make a straight line like that. So either way, it ends up in the same location. That could matter though if there were other Titans in the way. You would obviously move it in the way that doesn't cause crash, because every time a primordial steps on one of your Titans, it will cause some negative effects on them. So either way, in this specific case, it's going to move the same direction. Now it's going to do a move and attack. Woof. Each hit deals 2 danger, and that could be super bad. So what's happening here? The interesting thing about the primordial attacks is that they are not actually rolling attack dice at you. They are attacking. You are rolling evasion dice to avoid the attack, which I think is thematically super smart. The dice are always you rolling responsive to something that's happening to you, or responsive to what you're trying to do, or indicative in furtherance of what goals you're trying to accomplish in the game, right? Either way is really good. The dice come in black and white. The white die are the critical dice. You always have to roll at least 1 white die. If you roll a 1 on this die, it causes a crit miss, which from what I understand, for the most part, has no inherent problem except if you have equipment or gear that is triggered by it. The 10 on all dice is the special Aeon Trespass symbol. That is a crit hit, which is super awesome. However, if you roll that symbol on the black die, don't get too excited. It has to be on the white die. So that's a thing to remember, because I was like, oh, I kept rolling 10s on the black die because once in a while I roll good numbers, but of course I kept rolling it on the wrong thing. The crit hit is super important for attacks because it gives you a chance to just get special benefits during a battle, but again, it doesn't happen all that much, and you still need to have a successful power roll to really make it work. All right, so I'm rolling 2 dice in my evasion. I can avoid a hit for every 9 or greater that I roll. If I roll 2 9s, if I roll a 9 and a 10 right now, I will take no damage from this attack from this jerk. So we'll see how this goes. Bam, I rolled a 9 and an 8. Super interesting. I'm confused about this is bad. I'm confused about, so if each hit does 2, Now I have a chance to do an armor roll. I also could take a fate and try to re-roll the 8 and get a 9 or a 10. So re-roll abilities are interesting. So you can always use fate to get a re-roll. However, every die, even if you have multiple re-roll abilities, every die can only be re-rolled one time. So that's a thing to remember. This armor, though, do I negate the hit or do I negate the damage, the danger? That's the question. Because if I negate the hit, that would be much better and might be worth re-rolling a die to get a 9 or a 10. These are power rolls. This is movement, attack effects. Great. Oh, so it is. I'm actually negating danger. I am not negating the hit. So that, my friends, is shady. So I will not take a fate to re-roll this. We now go to the armor rolls section of our little journey here through the Hecaton's first attack. Yeah, great. So what I'm going to do is I have my armor. I'm going to take a fate to reinforce 1. What that allows me to do is to roll a second red die. So I naturally will roll 1 red die, and I can take a fate to reinforce that to add a second red die. When I'm rolling for armor rolls, every time I get this symbol, it's really too small. It should be a lot bigger. I don't understand why it's so small. But every time I get that symbol, I can negate 1 danger dealt to me. So I would need to get 2 of those symbols to try to negate both this danger. Now, I cannot use fate to re-roll this. Unlike the evasion roll thing, I cannot use fate to re-roll these. I can use fate to re-roll an attack roll. I can use fate to re-roll a die made in an evasion roll. I can use fate to re-roll a test roll, but armor rolls and power dice you just space, you cannot use fate to re-roll. You might have something else that allows you the ability to re-roll, but you cannot use fate for that purpose. So I'm going to roll these 2 dice. I negated 1 of the danger that was coming my way. I did not negate the second, so I do take 1 danger. That puts me up to 3. And since I took a danger, I'm going to have to draw from one of the trauma decks. 1 to 3, I draw from the minor trauma deck. So we're going to go there, see what this says. Maze Emergence, Cycle 1 only. Place an L Labyrinth tile under your feet. That's interesting. We're getting into this crap really early. So I'm going to grab one of these L tiles. Let's talk about labyrinths. Let's talk about labyrinths, baby. All right. Indestructible. So indestructible is a new keyword that we have not seen yet today. So we will talk about what it does. I bet you're going to say it's going to tell us that it can't be destroyed. It's going to be super awesome. Indestructible. Terrain cannot be destroyed. It evaluates terrain placement on top of it. So you can't place anything on top of it. Labyrinth, red lines on these tiles should be treated as obstacles and obscuring. You may freely move through spaces not separated by red lines. Connected labyrinth tiles are considered a single terrain tile. See detail rules in Cycle 1 Storybook. So we have to go to the Cycle 1 Storybook. It's like, no doubt, it was going to be a rules quagmire at the very first turn of the game. So, Labyrinth tiles, they play a major role in both the story and gameplay of Cycle 1. On the battle board, a Labyrinth tile is represented by Labyrinth tiles placed during battle setup, and as a result of some game effects, red lines on a Labyrinth tile denote the obstacle and obscuring part of the tile, meaning they block Titan's line of sight, movement, and adjacencies. Titans can freely move through labyrinth spaces not separated by red lines. Primordials ignore labyrinth tiles for the purpose of movement and attack, but red lines block their line of sight for targeting. Finally, labyrinth tiles connected by sides, showing green lines are considered a single tile for some game effects. So we're placing the labyrinth tile. When instructed to place a labyrinth tile, you place the tile, the shape indicated by the marker on the labyrinth track. We don't have a labyrinth track yet, but we're just placing it based on this card. It tells us to place an L. Unless stated otherwise, labyrinth tiles are always placed in front and adjacent to the primordial. They cannot be placed partially or fully under the primordial. If the tile is placed as part of attack, it must be placed underneath the target if possible. If you place the labyrinth tile in such a way that it would end up underneath more than one Titan, place it so it goes under them. If you can, place it that way. You place it it goes underneath the most Titans. So I have to place this that it goes underneath both these Titans here and here. So I will place it like so. Bam. All right. Now, nope, that's fine. Not worried about the rest of that. So we placed that tile on the board. So I had to place it so it got underneath the most Titans as possible. When it got placed, it doesn't do knockdown or anything. There is a whole section about terrain getting placed on top of Titans. In this specific instance, it does not. I do not think it causes knockdown, which would be really bad. But I don't think that's triggered right now. I don't think it's triggered. Terrain. Placing. When place terrain on a Titan, if the terrain has obstacle or destructible, it is destroyed and the Titan suffers crash. If it just has the obstacle, the Titan suffers crash displaced. If it is, in other cases, it is simply placed underneath the Titan miniature, and the Titan must immediately resolve this tile's effects, if any, as if it had just moved onto it. So if we had just moved onto it, yeah, there are no other effects. It just means that we're going to have a harder time getting around to our boy, the Hecaton. So this minor trauma card is done. It's going to come out. I'll just put it as a part of a discard pile over here now. And that is the end of that. So now we go to the follow-up after attack knockback 5. Now, our boy Hecaton, he's still at level 1, and he gets all previous traits. The trait here is friendly warning, -2 to all knockbacks performed by the Hecaton. So his, we're going to get knocked back 3, except we can't move to that red line. So we're actually going to get knocked back adjacent. Yeah, we can't get knocked back through the red line, so that's interesting. We could get pushed back through it, I think, maybe. I don't know. This is where some of this gets crazy. So knockback. If knockback would be forced to move through a destructible obstacle, stop its movement to the... I think forced to move through destructible obstacle terrain, stop its movement, move the Titan. Move the affected miniature X spaces directly away from the person, not by a straight line. See examples on next page. I don't think I can be pushed through the red line, right? I'm knocked back into an obstacle. Alright. Statue, do I suffer a crash and stop there, or do I move 3? Someone's gonna let me know, because I'm confused. Whoa. George A says, hey, I'm still around, still watching a lot of these videos, but usually not live. Sagitt, of course, they could have called them memory or memories, but that would have been too easy. Yes, need to learn on the Greek. Need to lean on the Greek. Sagitt says we actually call them dreams and nightmares. George A, from the early lore my group went through, we found the made-up name Sacratores cringy. It is the Greek equivalent to having someone named Robert John. Sagitt says, wow, like Socrates is the name, Ares is the name. Don't just merge them together, though. Sagitt says, Marianne disagrees. George A says, haha, yes. Says, I think we just called him Mr. S. George A saying he's really shady. Jens, does not seem like your kind of game at all, Greg. What gives? I just think this is the kind of game that's hard to do well on camera, but I'm very into this. I mean, I love Madara. It just was too much for me to do solo. Sagitt's equipment, yep, equipment ability trigger, electric die, the first trauma draw, armor, negate damage, danger. Yeah, I got that. I'm just not sure how to do this knockback right. Because if can I get knocked back through the red? There's a thing on pushback. This is where it gets really shady, man. If a Titan is about to be pushed into an indestructible obstacle, displace it to an adjacent space that would allow. Alright, someone's gotta. This is where it gets really confusing. I mean, because the one idea is I just get pushed 3 instead of 5. The other idea is I actually get pushed this way. The other idea is I crash. So all of that makes significant differences in how this plays out. Move the source in the direction of source path. Adjacent Titans ignore all terrain tiles they move through except obstacles. This is not an obstacle, so they ignore it. Knockback Titans ignore all terrain tiles they move through except obstacles. The only is an obstacle is a column. So in that case, I ignore the obstacle. So I ignore the obstacle then, and I get pushed 1, 2, 3. So something happens on the city now. So reinforce destructible. And if anyone moves onto this tile, or if Titan is involuntarily moved onto it, flip this terrain tile and the terrain card. Cover. We still have +1 evasion roll. It's still inhabited. It's just destroyed because I fell on it. And we go there. Destructible. The primary moves onto this tile. Titan is involuntarily moved onto it. Is destroyed. And then I would be -1 in my relationship with the Minoans. I don't think I crash. Did not see anything of me crashing. Moves onto this tile. Flip the terrain tile. It becomes destructible. The tile is destroyed. Yeah, I don't think I crash. I only crash for the columns. Do I crash here too? All right. The tile has obstacle and destructible keywords that are destroyed in this Titan suffers crash. All right, but this does not have the obstacle keyword. It just has obscuring and inhabited. Great. So I don't suffer crash, but because this has the obstacle keyword, that's why I would crash if I get thrown into a column. Of course, it's all making sense. Woo! Sad says, sorry, I'm missing a bunch of this. Yeah, the big question is, Sad, don't be sorry at all, dude. Like, for real. The big question is, I think I ignore that terrain tile and just get pushed through the red line if I'm reading this correctly. That seems to be the proper reading, trying to combine a bunch of things. The labyrinths, there's something that still have me super confused. And you know what? The reality, I could have done this anyway. I should have done this like this. And that makes more sense because then I can still get around there and do multiple attacks. All right. Yeah, I think if I'm ignoring all tiles except obstacles, I think this labyrinth is not considered an obstacle. It's just indestructible. So I think I just get flown into the city. The city is not totally destroyed yet. It is just it was just reinforced, but now it is fully destructible. Again, if it gets destroyed the next time, we got some problems. All right, so Smash is now carried out. This AI card is just going to go into a discard pile. I'll just put this up there. Hopefully that will stay out of the way. And now we go to the Titan rounds. In the Titan rounds, we have multiple options. Knowing that the Hecaton is liable to have a response, which will move him towards whoever attacks him, I think it probably makes the most sense to start attacking with these guys over here so we can get the most amount of attacks here in this first round. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Our movement's normally 5, but remember, we have Minoan heritage, so I can exhaust this to get +1 for the movement. So we have a movement action and an attack action. We can do them in any order. I'm going to exhaust Minoan heritage to give me an extra attack action. Wolf, this is going to be super sketch. Do I want to do her first? What's her No, Raz is probably better. We're gonna woof. We're gonna go with Raz. We're gonna do Raz first. It's gonna, I think, make more strategic sense. So she's just gonna move 5. So you can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, 1, 2. Nah, we want to go over here. So she's going to attack. Do I want to? I could, yeah, we'll put her. We'll put her there. That's fine. So she's going to attack. Raz has, and when she attacks, the first thing you're going to do is we raise our rage. Since we're the first to attack, we are the only one with any rage. That does mean that she is now the priority target, right? So as soon as somebody else gets 2 rage, they'll become the priority target. But again, the primary way to get rage up is going to be by making attacks. So, and rage is also linked to this Kratos table, and that's a whole other thing that we will talk about as we go. We need to have 2 danger before we can do the ability of rush, and I'll explain how that works as we go. But for now, we've done our movement step. Movement step ends. You cannot move, then attack, and then finish your movement. It is not like Vidara in that sense. It is like do all your movement. Now you do your attack, and now we're going to do our attack. I am attacking with my Siren Teeth. I am rolling 3 dice. Exactly one of them will be a white die, so that is a critical die. Now remember, I can take Fate for rerolls, which I might decide to do, and I still need a 7 to hit. So I'm rolling these 3 dice because I'm using the Siren Teeth as my weapon, and I rolled an 8, an 8, and a 1. So 2 hits isn't bad. Do I want to try to get a 3rd hit? Sure, I'm going to get a little greedy here. 7's not that hard to get to, so we're going to take 1 Fate and re-roll this 1 die. Remember, the 1 didn't matter because it was not on the white die. It was on the black die. I rolled a 6. So close, I did not get there. But I still think it was worth a shot. So, I have successfully hit. Since I successfully hit, we're going to go now to the first ability window. Nothing applies with any of my abilities for that, so we're not going to worry about that. We're now going to go to the draw a body part card. So I'm going to roll this d6, figure out what body part I'm against. I rolled a 1. We are up against the right shield fist. This is going to be a problemo. Woof. Do not like my odds here. This could go pretty badly. We'll see if I get super lucky, but I'm not feeling like that's going to happen. So I now have to do my power dice roll. With my power dice, I need to get a certain number of these symbols here to overcome that ability there, and I forget what the name of that is. That is the AT, the something value attack. I don't know, but it's a 4. So this is a bet. Some of them are 2, some of them are 3s. Of course, I pulled a card that had a 4. So I roll 1 die naturally because all the Titans have a red die all the Dreamwalkers have a red die at the top. And I'm going to roll 1 additional red die for each hit I had. Since I had 2 hits, I actually roll 3 dice. On these 3 dice, I need to get 4 successes to overcome that value. If I had any break tokens there, I'd have a better chance, but unfortunately I do not. These dice have 2 sides that have no hits on the power rolls, 2 sides that have 3 sides that have 1 hit, and 1 side that has 2. So I'm going to need to essentially get a 6, and then I'm going to need to get one of those 2s or 2 of those 2s, and then enough 1s to get to 4. This is a very unlikely roll. Bam! I got 0 hits, kids. 0. So that's how this starts off for me. And now we look at the right shield fist. And since I failed, I get +1 to my fate. So I'm now at 2 fate. So that's gross. And I get knocked down. So right where I am, boom, I get knocked down. I get knocked down. I might get up again. Maybe. Hopefully. I'll be I would like to get up again, but we'll see. So 63, knocked down. That's knocked back. Knocked down. Get the knockdown condition card. The knockdown condition card is over here, falling downside face up, and place your miniature on its side. Follow the rules of the condition card. If knockdown is by attack, it affects blah, blah, blah. So I do not take any danger from that. I just got an extra fate, which is unfortunate. But now I am on my side, right next to Primordial. Now, you are knocked down. Place your miniature on a side as a reminder. You cannot move voluntarily, attack, or use actions or abilities, except that's misleading because there's a bunch of threads on BGG where you can use some abilities because everything's called an ability, but you can't use movement abilities or move abilities where you have to spend, but like passive abilities you can still do. So for instance, I have an ability here, reposition, which would allow me to move 2 after my attack. I cannot use that ability because that would require movement, but I do have other abilities that I can use, like opening 1, which I'll talk about in a second. So if this card is discarded by another effect, stand up. At the end of your next turn, flip this card. So this is going to be there till the end of my next turn. It means I'm not going to be able to attack next round with Raz. That does not make me happy. This, since I did not defeat this body part, it just goes in a discard pile up there. But at the end of my turn, we're at the Kratos pool. We're at the ability opening 2. Now again, I can't use abilities except I can do this, which is super confusing. In the second ability window, I have opening 1, which is going to allow me to add a opening token into the Kratos pool. That will make it easier to hit, and we'll talk about that later. There's also my rage is a 1, so I also have ability, this Kratos card, this Kratos chart here. I can also add another token. I could use a break token or an opening token. I'm going to put a break token. Break tokens allow you to convert the triangles on the power dice into hits. So that will be helpful. So I can use those abilities even though I'm knocked down. I just can't use the reposition ability because that's a movement ability. Again, not the clearest in how that was worded. But thank you for BGG to making my life easier. We are going to go to our next person. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, movement's only 5 generally. We have some tokens in there now. I think it's time to go forward with Olympia. So Olympia is going to exhaust her Minoan Heritage card to get +1 movement. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She's going to get her rage up to 1 because she's about to attack. And she is going to have 2 dice. Now there's an opening token in there, so all her dice are going to have an additional 1 added to it. And she's going to roll 1 critical die and 1 black die. And she hits on a 7, except because of the opening token, she now hits on 6s. We roll. I rolled a 3 and a 4. That's hot garbage. I'm going to reroll both dice. I'm taking 2 fate. And let's see what happens now. I rolled an 8 and a 3. Good enough for 1 hit. Is it great? No, but we got a hit. Let's see what happens now. So since we got a hit with the 8, we're going to now pull from the body part card. I'm going to roll this die. I rolled a 6. There's only 5 cards left in here. I rolled a 5. A left shield fist. Woof. Guess what? We need 4 to do it. The good thing, though, is if we fail this, it doesn't kill us. If we wounded it, it would. So, whatever. This would have been more helpful last time, so we wouldn't have got knocked out, but here we are. So now I have to get my power pool. I only got 1 hit, and with the Shipwrecker Shield, I only get 1 red die for that, plus my base of 1. There's a break token in there, which means I can convert 1 of those triangles into a hit, but this is super unlikely. We'll see how we go. I need a 4 to wound this sucker. I got a 2. So that sucked. We missed again, but again, we did not wound it, so we don't get the negative effects. There's no response from Mr. Hecaton over here. We are just being really ineffective in attacking any of these dudes. Woof. All right. Now, crit evade. I did not, that doesn't apply. So the only ability I have is from this Kratos token. I'm going to add a break token into there. So we clear the Kratos pool. I'm going to use the Kratos thing to add a token into there. And now we're good. I mean, I can't get Heraclides into place to do an attack, which is super annoying. So he's just kind of chilling and being useless. You're being useless. That's right. Yeesh. Left shield fist comes over here. Those 2 4s are super annoying. I think the rest are like 2 3s and 2 2s, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna have to go forward with Leocules. Leocules, man, is in a bad spot. So he's gonna go. Oh, this is gross. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're attacking with our boat mace. With the boat mace, we only roll 1 die, so it has to be the crit die, and we only hit on we only hit on a 7, but we have +2 naturally from the boat mace, so we actually hit on a 5 or better. Booyah, I rolled a 5. Don't show off. 5 modified by the boat mace. That gives me a 7. That's a hit. We're going to draw a battle plan card, a body part card. I rolled a 6. Not helpful. It's only 4 cards. I rolled a 3. This sucker only needs a 3 to hit. It is the right mighty fist. Alright. If I wound it, bad things happen. But we gotta start getting some wounds on this sucker. So we're gonna go to the power dice. We got 1 red die because of our natural thing, and then for every hit we have, we roll 2 red dice, so we're rolling 3 red dice. We have a break token in there, and I only need 3 to overcome the right mighty fist. I rolled bad. Yeah, I did not wound it. So I could only, for every break token, I can convert one of those to a thing. So there's only 1 break token in there. I can only convert one of them to a hit. So I effectively have 2 hit. I failed to wound it. Yeah, no rerolls. That's a thing. Oh, I could have done. Never mind. I was at 2 danger. This would have made more sense. Oh, and I never raised his rage. This would have made more sense. I'm gonna take. I would have taken a fate to do rush, which is a compound movement, because I was at 2 danger. So you have to be at 2 plus danger. So I could have moved with +1. I moved at least 3 spaces. So I did a rush ability, which gives me an auto break 1. So the auto break is something that in the first window, I would actually get another break token. And then I could have actually spent those 2 break tokens, converted both those things into hits. I have the other hit. So in the power roll, that's absolutely what I should have done. So let me do retcon a little bit here. So it cost me a fate, but I actually did get a wound. But then this is going to go pretty poorly. So we'll see how this ends up for me. So I wounded it. So we take this body part, we put it over here. We need to get up to 10, so that's 1. So I'll just get a die out here to represent that, like so. And now it tells me what it's going to do. Pushback 1. So again, this ignores terrain when they move. So pushback 1. So pushback, it moves into me and moves me back 1. And then knockback 5. Knockback 5 becomes knockback 3. 1, 2, 3. I would normally ignore that, but I land on it. So I land on it and I crash. It also gives me a danger. So I'm at danger 4. And you only do the trauma draws when you're actually taking danger from an attack. This is not an attack, this is a response. And so I take another danger because of crash. So I'm at danger 5 and I get knocked down. So I have to get the knockdown ability card. So we have 2 dudes who are on their ass going into the next round. I think I did all that right, but someone can let me know. If not, there's a lot happening. Terrain, this is really bad. Crash. Where's crash defined? Of course, it's not defined there. Why would it be? Crash. Let me go back to the index. A master glossary would be so helpful in this game. Crash, 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 crash. 63. Crash is defined there. Crash. The Titan suffers crash, gets +1 danger and suffers knockdown. The Titan suffers crash each time a Forno moves onto or through its space, as well as when any effect forces it to move onto a space of obstacle terrain or place an obstacle terrain on its tile. Blah. So there we go. 2 people knocked down. Do I have any abilities? Yeah, we have a break 1, so I can put that in the Kratos pool. And that is fine. If I don't attack, I don't actually get to clear the Kratos pool, so I think it just sits there till next round, unless I'm misunderstanding that rule pretty dramatically, because when it comes to Heraclides cannot get close enough to attack. Heraclides is just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that a starting space? I'm losing my mind. What is happening? Hecaton. Yeah, he's just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Trying to figure out who he's gonna attack. If he goes at the priority target, he's going after Raz. Raz is on her ass right now. So maybe going up there isn't making sense. He'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give maximum options. I think that makes the most sense. All right. The Titan will be forced to move through an instructed obstacle that stops in an adjacent space before the obstacle then suffers crash. But other moving through an instructed, I was started on the obstacle. I will let you suffer crash and not bump into the city, but I know the labyrinth rules in front of me. Was the labyrinth placed under you? It was placed under me. By the way, I found the ruling on this. If it was a knockback, you would have suffered crashed on the spot. How did the labyrinth end up on the side? I thought it was placed elsewhere before. How did the labyrinth end up on the side? I moved it around. I thought it was better that way. So I would not have been. If it was not, I would have crashed on the spot. So I don't go through the red line. Woof. That's confusing. So that's going to change a bunch of things. Yeah, it was. I had it here, and then I moved it because he was here. So I still could have done the. Does that have to be a straight line? No, the shortest path. So I could have done 1, 2, 3. Well, that's not good. Nah, I still liked it better, but that means I actually missed. That's a thing. That actually missed. I couldn't do the. I couldn't do the rush, which means I would have. Oh, I would have suffered crash on the spot. Woof. All that's bad. So put the fate back. How the hell did I get my first fate? Oh yeah, I took why did I get the first fate? I reinforced. We were at 3. So I would have suffered crash. You suffered knockdown, right? So since I suffered crash, I take another danger, and I would have been knocked down there. Is what you're telling me. And then this flips over, and the city is not ruined. So effectively, Leocules has no turn, can't do anything, but can put a break token in there for the next. That's fine. So if Heraclides went first, didn't attack, I could have gone there with Leocules. Oh, but if I'm not attacking, there's no second ability window. But that gets really confusing with all the stuff I was reading yesterday. Because if there's no attack, you just ignore the whole sequence. Unless them saying Titan attack sequence might be misleading too. God, this book is it's really bad. I mean, it's not awful, but woof, it could be so much better. Titan round. So how do you do? Oh, if you're knocked down as a Titan response, that would make sense. Yeah, she got knocked out as a Titan response. That's why we were still going through the window. That makes some sense. But he just never attacked, so we would never get anything else in there. All Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, about it always clearing, because I'd have to go for the Kratos pool directions, but I think it's like it only says it clears during the attack sequence, and if you're not doing the attack sequence, I don't know why it would clear. 61 Kratos pool, Kratos table. What the heck? Why would we not have all the Kratos stuff on the same page? Just to drive you crazy, Greg. It's fine. Kratos pool, Kratos roll, Kratos table. They literally don't have a Kratos tokens. 34 and 45. Kratos tokens are a special type of cooperative token. These can help you hit or wound. See more on 45. You may leave Kratos as well as weapon abilities, Kratos tables, or other game effects. They're placed in Kratos pool. They can be used in the following Titan attack. Yeah, dude, I don't think they clear unless you actually go through an attack sequence. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. I'd be curious on an official ruling of that. Which means that if that's true, the last attack, so he wasn't wounded at all. So this actually would stay at that's going to be the next body part. Which means that she would have had who did the last attack? She did. She put an opening token, and then her Kratos table put a break token. I think they stay till the next round. I'm pretty sure about that. But again, I've been pretty sure of a lot of things that aren't always true. So that's the end of the round, because again, to the end of his next turn, which is now, he can go to the falling up stage, which is better. Which is better than being falling, because Raz will not have a turn next turn, and in theory, Leocules might. I never raised his rage, he never attacked. Heraclides never attacked. Her rage is 1. Olympia's rage is 1. And the women are raging, and the men are just like, what? What's up? We're not going to attack anybody because we suck. This is still exhausted until I forgo a movement or an attack phase, and then I can get that ability back. But in the meantime, we're going to go to the AI card for Hecaton. I rolled a 4. All right. Cold open. Woof. Really? Don't stop picking on Leocydes. Leocydes has 4 danger now because we had to redo a lot of that, so I do apologize for that. Cold open. It goes from 0 to 10 in the heartbeat, and then he punches, and the punches keep on coming. My fate's only a 1. That's fine. Closest Titan in front in range. Again, front's there. It is in range. And that's annoying because he is going to smush Olympia, which is bad. So we go to the trusty rulebook. How does this work? Because he's going to have to step. No, wait, does he needs line of sight to attack. The other thing that's weird about these tokens, it's crazy that all this shit comes up like the very first playthrough. These L tokens, like the red stops. So in theory, can he attack right where he is? Like, does he have line of sight? I actually think he has line of sight to Leocules right where he is, because that red does not come all the way to the end. Because if he doesn't have line of sight, he's going to have to move, which is going to cause... No. He ignores all that crap with movement, doesn't he? You can affect line of sight. I think he has line of sight where he is, because you can draw a line from that corner to that corner. I think if they wanted to fully block line of sight with that red line would have come all the way through, and then he ignores the red lines when attacking, if I read that right. So I think he just attacks where he is, and he's going to attack Leocules because he's the closest Titan in front in range. All right, he's attacking with, so I can't. If you move voluntarily, attack, or use an action or ability, stand up. So if I use this ability, I just stand up. That's interesting. Okay, great. So he's attacking me. I have to do 4 dice. Wow. But I evade on every 6. So let's see if I can't flip 4 coins and have them all come up on the good side. Woof. I got 1. Not great. All right, I'm going to re-roll 2. I also got a crit miss, but again, that doesn't trigger off anything, so I'm going to take 2 fate to re-roll 2 of these. I'm going to re-roll the crit die, and this, I'm going to re-roll the 2 ones, because what could go wrong? I got a 9 now. And I'm going to use an ability, because I'm standing up, so I can get rid of this thing and discard it. I can put my miniature up, and I'm going to use my armor ability to reinforce, which gives me another fate. And I'm rolling 2 power dice, and now I need those triangles to negate the 2 danger that's about to come my way. I negate both of it. Excellent. So I took no danger since no damage. I took no damage. I don't have to do a trauma draw. And then after the attack, we have pushback 3. So that sucks because he's going to. But now it's different because Hecaton is actually moving. Woof. It's like another one of those things too, where it's like when you're learning like Cloudspire, and it's like, oh, you're dealing with the what am I talking about? The Elfin Kazi, like, which is like the absolute worst way to learn that game. Like, they're so confusing. And now it's like, oh, we have these labyrinths, which is and pushback and knockback, and like, yeah, good luck. Like, it's unreal. All right, pushback. Titan's ability pushed into a short obstacle, displaces an adjacent space, allow the opponent to continue movement onto a space pre-occupied by the Titan. Then continue, push back, and displace into the possible the Titan dies. Blah, blah, and blah. Alright. Am I gonna die? I think I'm gonna die. Oh, I think I'm totally dead. Because displacement's impossible. Because pushback, he's going to move into my space, which displaces me here. He's going to move again. He's going to move into my space, and displacement's impossible because the Titan can't keep the. I can't be displaced to a place that will allow the Titan to keep the primordial to keep moving. So he would just basically go there, and that Titan's dead. I don't see a way around that with the rules. But it's also the question, like, again, these red lines not going all the way to the end. Am I sure that I can't go through that? Because like there's this gap right there. But I don't. The way he's moving, I can't displace to there because he has to be displaced to a place where he can still move. So he's gonna go there. I'm pretty sure I'm dead, and then Hecaton just stays right there, like standing on top of this labyrinth, which is super frustrating. Woo! Kratos pool, my reading it always clears through the red line. In this sense, it doesn't matter whether you start on this or not. If you suffer crash, you suffer knockdown. Remember to flip the knockdown card. You're not You did not do any ability window stuff in that case. It will take 3 to 4 fights to get this stuff down. I know we've been there. You were correct on the display mystery question. Thanks, Saget. George A. If I understand the labyrinth side correctly, the red line acts as indestructible obstacles that was you can never pass through. So you never be backed. You can never be knocked back or pushed back through a red line. Aries, oh yeah, Aeon Trespass, awesome game, but the rules overhead is woof. Yeah, this is an incredible game. Says Richard says I would advise against standing up on the Hecaton's turn. You just get knocked down again. Agreed, you die here. Yeah, I was trying to enjoy the trauma roll, but the trauma draw, but it didn't matter because the pushback was going to doom me. So 1 Titan down. That was fun. Thanks to Dockley. So he has one of my stronger armors, but that's not going to matter. We've done 0 damage to this dude, so that's going well. And that's it. So after the attack, this goes away. Jerk. And then there were 3. So now we go to the Titan rounds. And we still have this opening token and this break token. Woof. We think we start with Raz. But Raz, oh, she's knocked down. Right, so she can't do anything on her turn. So this just flips up, and now she's standing up. Well done, Raz. You are. But no, she can still place an no, because we don't go through that sequence. So we actually don't even get to that window. So since she just does that, she's standing up on her beginning of her next turn. Great. Who do I want to attack first with? Heraclides? First ability play. Break token. We will attack with a lip. Now we can't. Oh, woof. No one has any danger. So we're going to go 1, 2 with Heraclides. Heraclides is then going to attack with his Kratos Kappas. He's rolling a white die and a black die. We got +1 to both these dice, plus we have the opening token. So essentially +2. I rolled a 3 and an 8. That's not great. I'm going to take a fate. And I'm going to re-roll the white die. I rolled a 4 and an 8. That sucks. So, we only hit with one of our dice. We get a red die automatic and another red die. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to take a danger to place a break token in the Kratos pool during the first Kratos pool window. So we have 2 break tokens in there right now. And now we draw the body part card. Remember, I drew this last time, so this was the next one up. And now I need a 3. I'm only rolling 2 red dice because I only had 1 hit, plus I have the natural red die. I need to get to 3. I got to 1, 2, and then the break token gets me to 3. Excellent. So take 2 on this. We actually got that done this time. We should have a D10 over here, which is a little different. Great. We get pushed back 1, so he's going to face me and push me back to there. And then he does knockback 5, becomes knockback 3 because a friendly warning. 1, 2, 3. I don't get knocked down. I just get pushed very far away. I also do take a danger, so I'm at danger 2, which allows me to actually get to my rush ability, so I don't mind that. I also should be at +1 rage because I did an attack. Most excellent. So 1 body part down. Now we do an escalation of the dex, which I did forget to do before. Or actually, I think we realized I made a mistake before we even got there. So how do we do this escalation? When you wound a level 1 body part, the first thing you do is you take out one of the level 1. Is removed from that thing. We're going to add to the body part draw pile a body part which is 1 level higher. So this applies for both level 1 and level 2. I'm going to roll a d6. We'll get a level 2 body part in there. I rolled a 6. And now we're going to add this to the body part deck. So we still have, again, 6 cards total between the discard pile and the draw pile. That will work. We're going to go to the AI pile. And we're going to take out one of these cards out at random. So one of these level 1 attacks, I take out this one. This just comes out of the game. And we're going to shuffle in a level 2 attack. I rolled a 3. That gets added in. So we have one level 2 attack in here, 3 level 1s, and that will be good. These will come over here. So we did the escalation. Now we go to the rest of the attack sequence. And the rest of the attack sequence is we're going to clear we did the wound of response. We're going to clear the Kratos pool, so all this stuff comes out. And now we have our second ability window. What are my abilities? Well, I have this rage of 1, so I can use one of this. I'm going to put a break token in here. And then we have, oh, I have sacrifice. I have carving, which I didn't do. Carving is going to be on page 63. Carving says, when I wound a primordial, I can test wisdom 8. My natural wisdom for Heraclides is just it's a modifier of 0. So there's no thing. So I'm going to roll 1d10. Did I get an 8 plus? I did not. So I do not get the extra resource. Do we have any other abilities? No, that's about all she wrote. We now go to Olympia. Olympia is like, thank you for my one little break token. This is not going to go well. Yeah, we have no ability to add opening tokens. That's fine. Again, she could forego a movement or attack and get Minoan Heritage back. That seems like it's not that useful. So Olympia is just going to move 1, 2, and then she's going to attack. So she's attacking. Her rage is going to go up to 2. She will take over the priority target token because now she has the highest rage on the board. She's rolling 2 dice with her shipwrecker shield. So we have a white die and a black die. We're going to roll them both, see what happens. I need to hit on a 7 plus. I have no opening tokens in there, so it is a straight up 7 plus. I rolled a 4 and a 4. Woof. Woof and woof. Woofany woof. Woof, woof, woof. Rage is 2, so I get a power die reroll, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna take 2 fate, man. I gotta start damaging this dude. Gotta do it. Alright, give me a 7. An 8 and a 7. Woo! Clean living. So that's 2 hits. We're going to draw a body part card. Remember, one of these is now a level 2 card. It's going to be a lot harder to wound. I rolled a 6. There's only 4 cards here. I rolled a 2. It is a level 1 card. We only need a 2 to beat it. And if we fail, we just get pushed back 2. We should be okay. I got 2 hits. So I'm going to roll 2 red power dice. I do have an ability, since my rage is at 2, to get a power die reroll, which is super nice. And I'm going to get a base of, so my 2 hits, so I get 2 red dice, plus I get a base of a red dice. So 3 red dice with 1 break token in there, I think will be okay. And woof, don't show off. Barely got 2. I do have the power die reroll if I wanted it. Whatever. Oh, that would be 4. That's super nice, but all we needed was a 2. If this is a problem, if I wounded it, I would have a response, but I did, or this is a problem if I failed. I did not fail, I wounded it, so no negative repercussions to me. This is going to go over here. We now took care of 2 body parts. We're going to have to do another escalation. That was a level 1 body part. We're going to add another level 2. I roll a die. There's 5 left here. We're going to add this to the body part deck. So remember, now half of these are level 2 body parts. And we have to escalate the AI deck as well. We're going to take out a level 1 AI card. So there's 3 there. So 1, take out this one. It's out of the game. And we're going to shuffle in a level 2 AI card. Again, 5 left over here. I rolled a 4. And half of the AI actions are here. So we have 2 wounds out of 10. And this dude is getting a wee bit nastier. We now go to the second ability window. I have not much of a chance to do much here, except I have the rage of 2, so I can do this Kratos table. I will add I think I'm still going to add a break token, because why not? So that's all done. Your priority target. Raz at the end of her turn, again, she's just standing up. She'll stand up for next turn, and then we'll go from there. We now go to the Hecaton's turn. The Hecaton's going to go to the AI deck. We're pulling a card, or rolling a die more specifically. So this is the Hecaton's third turn. I rolled a 3. It is a level 2 AI card. Furious Smash. Target is priority target in range. She is in range. He will turn and face her, or they will turn. The arms and hands flinging at me will face Olympia. Oh, did I switch them? I did switch them. One of the where they were, I could have gotten them both to the different places. So I'm just going to move them like this. Right. So Olympia's there. Sorry, it should not have been an issue. They both had 5 move. Hecaton was not that far away. I think they were both here. So like, yeah, there's no way I could see that I would not have been able to get them around there. So just my apologies for flipping those two. So we're gonna keep moving on. So we're gonna have Olympia's priority target. Olympia's getting attacked with Furious Smash. And I have to roll 4 evasion dice. A critical evade would be super nice. It does some cool things to Olympia's abilities. So I get 1 white die and 3 black dice, but I only evade on an 8+. That is really rough. Now I do have the Shipwrecker Shield, which will allow me to reroll 2 dice for free without having to spend fate, which can be super nice. 8+, please. I rolled 0 8s. I can reroll 2 dice for free. I'm going to reroll these 2 dice. I got an 8 and a crit. Now, I have seen nothing in the rules that says when I reroll the crit die that I can't also get the crit benefit. So if someone knows better than me, please speak now or forever hold your peace. That is 2. Oh, man, I think I just take the 2 danger. Yeah, I'm going to take the 2 danger from the others. I have no armor to negate any of that other danger. And that's going to give me a minor trauma based on my trauma table over here. This says thrown off balance. Now remember, I am assuming I can't. Nope. Where's the discard thing? Oh, Leocules. I barely knew you, buddy. Alright, thrown off balance. Exhaust all your exhaustible gear. If no gear is exhausted by this card, knock down. Woof. I have no exhaustible gear, so I just get knocked down, which gives me the knockdown ability, because that's super fun. Knockdown, falling, and that's done. Minor trauma card goes out. We are going to we get pushback 3. Was my fate 4? My fate was 4, so it's actually 2 danger instead of 1 for each hit. Woof. That's not good. I would have re-rolled. Man. Gives me the 4 danger. So I actually have to pull a different trauma card. My bad. My fate was a 4. So I actually get the 4 danger. And since I end up at 4 danger, I have to pull a different trauma card. So this is going to go back here. Major trauma card. What's up? Oh, that's great. Inner strength. Lose a danger. And stand up. I was already standing. So lose, get it back. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. That's a pretty it's a different kind of thing that just happened. Great. Bonus attack. There's something about like sequence breaking. None of that makes sense to me, so I'm not going to worry about that. I took that card. I think the after attack effects still happen. That's. I don't know if I totally break the sequence. That's confusing. Chain break. Some trauma cards, blah blah, may let it to slightly disrupt the flow of the game. The original primordial attack immediately ends. So I guess they would not do the follow-up. The after attack. Push back 3. The after attack effect was canceled by the chain break. This attack from the trauma deck actually gives me a chain break. So just realized I drew from the wrong deck. It actually worked out to my advantage. I am not falling down because, I'm not. Instead, I'm going on the offensive. So I'm attacking with my shipwrecker shield. That was a really weird turn of events. I only hit on 7 or more. I have no opening tokens in there. I rolled an 8 and a 1. I will take 1 fate. So I'm about to 5 fate now. And I rolled a 3. So I only hit once. So I'm only going to have 2 red dice, 1 base, and then 1 because of the 1 hit with the shipwrecker shield. I have to draw from the body parts here. I'm rolling a d6. Please give me a level 1 card. I rolled a 3. It is a level 1 card. I need 3 to hit. If I wound, some bad effects happen, but that's fine. It is the left mighty fist. Great. I have 1 break token in there. I'm rolling these 2 red dice. I have nothing else that can modify those. But again, since my rage is at a 2, I do get a power die reroll. Oh, and the bonus attack, I assume, goes to the entire sequence. So I do have my rage up to a 3. So I'm rolling these 2 dice. That is 3. So that's a successful hit. We managed to wound this dude, but when I wound, he pushes me back. That's a thing. Pushes me back to here. When I get pushed back onto another Titan, some stuff happens. Because everything triggers everything. Freaking bananas, man. Oh my gosh. All right, push back. Push back 2. If you push back, if it's Titan ends its voluntary movement of space with another miniature, the other miniature is displaced. Alright, great. So this miniature just gets displaced. So I can just displace it wherever I want. I gain a danger, so we're up to 4 danger. And knockback 3, because it would be knockback 5, that's reduced by 2. Because of friendly warning, we just get knockback 3. This is the 3rd wounded card. Where was this? This was that thing. This thing is now wounded, so we have 3 wounds. We have to perform an escalation. We're going to take a level 2 body part. There are 4 level 2 body parts left. I'm rolling a d6. We're going to not add that because that was a 6. And this goes here. It's mostly level 2, so really no reason to shuffle that much. We have to take out a level 1 AI attack. Right, there should be 4. There's 2 up there. That makes sense. Level. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this one's out. Done. And we add a level 2 AI attack. There are 4 cards left here. That's a 6. That's a 2. All right, primordial round is over, so we now go to the Titans. Raz is standing up, so she's gonna go ahead and. Oh wait. At the end of my attack, second ability, so the Kratos pool clears, and I did not get a crit evade. I do have this. My range is a 3 because I did 3 attacks. So I'm gonna add an opening token and a rage token and a break token to the pool because of my little Kratos table here and my rage being a 3. Going to the chat. Doo-doo-doo. A level 2 wound, body part. Kratos pool clears when you attack the primordial at the end of the attack because even if you totally miss. When you miss, you skip to clearing tokens but can't place new ones. When you hit, you clear old tokens but can place new ones. Yeah, I knew that. Thank you. Sajid, this is not great positioning. Yeah, I'm really bad at this. You should be fine with the crit on reroll. This is a chain break. All our primordial attack effects are not resolved. You just have to love that trauma deck sometimes. Everything triggers everything. It does. It's a lot. All right. Woo! Raz, yeah, she started standing up last turn. So we actually get 3 more attacks in this sucker. I somehow have 3 wounds. I'm really missing the Achilles, and I'm pissed about my boat mace. But other than that, we're good. This is nuts. Opening, break token, opening. I think I go with Raz. So if you move on to, at the start of your turn, stand up. Stand up! Raz, stand up. She can't. I don't think I ever had her go last, but again, as a reminder of my fated Minos, my fated Minos. Thank you, George. She can never go last, but I don't think I've ever had her go last. But if I have, I humbly apologize. Send complaints to again solo playthroughs Philadelphia, and we'll call it a day. Leocules, why are you dead? Because you play bad. Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. Who's that 2 danger? Ooh, I could do a rush. That's not crazy. I could do a rush. I don't know what this 4 thing is. Oh, that's interesting. I get 2 power roll rerolls. She can't go last. Kratos Kappas. I think I do Raz, then Olympia, then Heraclides. Just don't want to get knocked down. Maybe I don't do her first. She can't go last, so let me see what's going on. With the rest. Yeah, because if that dude moves too far, I'm in trouble. Alright, Heraclides is gonna go. Woof. We have an opening token and a break token in there. If I do Raz, get a bunch of opening tokens. But I think Olympia is the best suited. That's simple. Unavoidable knockback. Does that mean I can... Is that a reposition symbol, or does that mean I can push? I'm assuming that's a reposition symbol. Like this, the most popular in-game symbols is like garbage. I mean, like there's so many more symbols that should be on here. It's kind of annoying. I think that's a reposition. If you think if you're at level 4 rage, you just reposition. I only got up to it with 1 during the learn to play. And I was often using the power reroll. Kratos table. Kratos table abilities paid 61. So bad, dude. It doesn't say. You can do a reroll, but it doesn't. I assume that is a reposition symbol. It is not anywhere in this book that I see. The other ability on how for your campaign, George, the other ability on your Kratos table 4 is actually quite useful. What is it? Is it a reposition? Hey, Greg, glad to see you back, but I wish that you would take another week off so I could catch up on all the content you pumped out prior. What's up, Joey? How you doing, man? Let me know if there's a reposition or a push, because I cannot find that symbol freaking anywhere. So I think it's a reposition, which makes some sense. Thank you, Joey's popping in. Got to get back to some work. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Hope everything is well down in Virginia. All right. What is happening, man? I think that's reposition. Someone will get back to me by the time I get over to Olympia, I assume. Let's make this happen. I am gonna stand up with Raz. I'm just worried she's gonna put herself in a line of fire somewhere, and that's not great. Now I'm gonna go with Heraclides first. So Heraclides is going 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to use the right miniature for Heraclides this time, just trying something new. We're going to get a Rage 2, because it's literally only his second attack, which is pathetic. And, right, because, was he knocked down? Didn't I attack twice? Or do we have -1 Rage? I don't know. Maybe he only attacked once. What is it's only the 4th round. No, it's only the 3rd round. Yeah, that makes sense, because he didn't attack the 1st round. So he's attacking again. Rage 2. I am rolling, if I recall, it's a pushback, says Vanna Menon. Interesting. It doesn't look like the pushback symbol. Primordial Titan. I mean, it's how it's not on the list of Titan icons is bananas. Bananas. Cool. Thank you. That very, very much could be right. I'm just very confused why it's not in the rulebook with the other 80 pages of stuff. Wait, he was here. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take a fate, and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 with the rush ability. I get an auto break 1, which means this gets added in the first Kratos window, the first ability window. So just gonna put that in now. I'm rolling 2 dice, 1 white, 1 black, and I hit on a 7. But again, we have an opening window, an opening token, and we have a +1 on the Kratos compass. So I hit on 5s or better. I rolled a 1 and a 3. Woof. All right, I'm re-rolling both dice. Get up to 4 fate. I would like 5s, please. 5s! I got a 9 and a 7. That's so much cooler. Great. So we have 2 hits. We now go to figure out what body part we are attacking. So I'm going to roll a d6. Let's figure out what body part we have here. I rolled a 4. It's a level 2 body part. It is the exposed back arms. If I fail, badness happens, and the number to hit is a 4. So I'm going to get my power dice. I get 1 die naturally. I have 2 break tokens in there thanks to the auto break from the rush. And I had 2 hits, so I get 2 more red dice. So I have 2 break tokens and 3 red dice. I'm also at Rage 2, which gives me the ability to re-roll 1 of my power dice. Bam! That is really awful. Woof. We're going to fail. Unless this is super lucky. So I'm using this ability in the Kratos table. Hey, super lucky it is. So my 2 break tokens turn those 2 triangles into hits, and then I have the 2 other hits. So I actually did hit, and since this is a fail effect instead of a wound effect, I just wounded. I don't get any negative repercussions because I got on its exposed back arms. That's right. Those back arms were launched. So it's a level 2 card. So I have my 4th wound over here. That was a level 2 card. We add a level 3 body part card, which is bananas. So I'm going to roll a d6, see which one we're going to add here. It's a 4. That will go here. We're also going to take out a level 2 AI card. I think these are all level. Nope, 2 of these are level 2. I rolled a 1. This goes out. That's out of the game. And we're going to add a level 3 AI card. All right, I rolled a 4. We'll add this into there. And we can shuffle these around. Done. Yeah, the failure of those 2 level 1s is proving problematic because to get those back in is going to take some work. Level 2s, level 1s, level 3s, whatever. Everything's done. All right, so we're going to go to the second ability window. We clear the Kratos pool, and we're going to add a... Oh, I wounded it. I could have done a sacrifice. I didn't do the sacrifice because I did the rush ability. I knew there were enough break tokens in there. A carving 1, I roll 8 or better. It is an 8 or better. So I think that means I just automatically gain a mortal resource of my choice. Carving 1, where are you? When you immediately gain X additional non-core from the battle effect from the body pet. Oh. So I gain 1 more of those things. So I gain 1 muscle cluster immediately. Excellent. That makes sense. So that card is a muscle cluster symbol. I just immediately gain that now, in addition to being able to gather it later if I defeat the primordial. Well done, carving 1. And additionally, I will add a... Woof. I will add a... opening token for Raz. Done. Most excellent. Razmataz is going to go. Razmataz is going to move. She's going to stand the heck up, which I already had her standing, so sorry about that. She's going to move 1, 2, and then she's going to attack. Now, rush, you can only have the shortest possible distance, so it's not like I could rush and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I have to actually move shortest possible distance with rush. So, and she doesn't have any danger anyway, so I actually couldn't do the rush ability even if I wanted to. She is going to attack with 3 dice. So we're going to get the 1 white and the 2 blacks. And we hit on a 7. We hit on a 6. 7, 9, 3. I'm going to take a fate. This rage should go up to a 2. My fate's going to go up to a 3. I'm going to re-roll the 3. Oh, I had to do her now, right? Because I could not move her last. So, woof. And so I can reduce knockback suffered by 2. I forgot about that too. So if I get knockback 5, it's actually only a 1 because of friendly warning and the level 1. There we go. That's a crit, but it doesn't matter. I don't know why they put the crit symbol on the black dice. I think that's a little bit of a mistake because it's just misleading. So that's just a 10, which is fine. So I have 3 hits with my Siren Teeth, and that will be super helpful. The opening token, I wish I put a break token now, but we'll make that work. My rage is a 2, so I will have 1 power die reroll and nothing else. So we're going to get one of these 4 body parts. I rolled a 2. It is a level 2 body part. Don't be awful. Great. It's the hand feat. All right, if I fail, bad things happen. If I wound it, I'm good. So I'm going to take the 1 red die I get naturally. And then because I had 3 hits, I get 3 more red dice. So I'm rolling 4 red dice. I have no break tokens in there, but I do get a reroll of one of these things. And I just need a 4. Make it happen. Oh, that's really bad. Ah! Yikes. Well, here's my reroll. I have a 1 in 6 chance of making some magic happen, and no, I got the 3. Woof, that's so bad, dude. Yeah, all the Oculus had all the good break stuff. That's really gross. So I failed. I get pushback 1. And additionally, I take 2 danger. I had no danger, that's fine. And since this danger did not come from an attack, I don't have to make a trauma draw. and I get knockback 5, but I can turn that knockback 5 into, well, it becomes knockback 3, and then I have level 1 of imprisonment, so it's just essentially knockback 1. The other bad thing about that, it means that Olympia can't use she can't use her rush ability because now this dude is too close. So that's super unfortunate. Woof. This goes here because we failed to wound it. This Kratos pool clears out, opening 1, and then I have reposition 2. So I did hit, I just didn't wound. So I can do all my second ability windows. I'll reposition 2 over here. We're now going to Olympia's turn. Olympia is like, what the heck, Raz? Why do you suck at this? And she is going to. Do we know what this is yet? If our bananas, the Sagitt, yes, it's a pushback indeed. Just have to learn to play, so a bit before this episode. Sagitt, oh wow, then why are you spoiling yourself? The symbols on the credit table are shown on the back of the Titan sheets. Are you serious? That's like the last place I would have looked, man. Oh, George, I miss you so much. Yeah, there we go. That's horrendous. Oh, it's the back of that Titan sheet too, right? It's not even on this one. So I can't even use like any old Titan sheet. I literally have to like, it's so stupid. That's really dumb. Yeah, so like there's no way I'm picking these things up, dude. Like, yeah, it's that's a bit of a miss. It's just that little things, man. It's just like this game is not made in the most practical way. So I can use the Oculeses because this Titan is dead. So here we go. So that symbol is pushback X. Turn towards the primordial, then move towards it, pushing it X space in a straight line. If you use this ability, you may use this ability in either the first or the second ability window. Well, that is lovely. All right, Olympia. Now that we solved that mystery, Olympia is going to go. She's going to do a movement action. Here she is. And she's going to get her rage up to 4 because she's very rage filled. She has to calm the heck down, Olympia. She's rolling 2 dice, which is going to mean very few power dice. I do not see this ending well. So 1 white die, 1 black die. And, man, no break. I just cannot get break tokens. Oh, wait, we also have the rest of the Kratos abilities. I had 2 rage. I could add a break token that way. There we go. Wait, did I forget that over here? No, he only 2. I added the opening token because I knew she was rolling 3 dice. Right. That's what I did. Yeah, all right. So we do have the break token from the Kratos table here. Great. Olympia, what the heck's up? So 2 dice. We hit on a 7. We hit on a 6. There's no additional modifier there. I rolled a 1 and a 9. I'm going to get up to 6 fate because, why not? Let's live dangerously and try to get a 6 or better. And crit, but on the wrong colored die. So 2 hits, super nice. We're gonna, what body part are we attacking? There's only 3 left in the draw pile. I rolled a 2. It is a level 2 card. It is the shoulder hands. We need 5 to hit. This is not gonna happen. Woof. All right. Well, what could go wrong? So we're gonna roll 3 red dice. I can get woof. I can reroll 2. I can reroll 2, so we'll see if I can get to a 5. I only have 1 break token in there. This is not likely. But we'll see. 5! Ooh. That's oddly close. That's 4. I only have 1 break token in there. Yikes. So I can use 1 break token to turn 1 into a hit. I can re-roll. I mean, I'm just gonna need to re-roll a 2. I'm gonna use my power dice re-roll. That's a 1. Nah, I think I just go for it again. Power dice re-roll. Oh, so that's a 1. That's fine. And I will re-roll this die now because each die can only be rolled once. Oh, do I have to choose all the dice I'm re-rolling at the same time? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? That might be a thing. Someone's, yeah, I'm forgetting the order of that. Wolf, man. Power re-rolls, 6-3. I'm forgetting the order of these things. Titan round overview, 6-3. Attack roll. Power roll, power re-rolls. Alright, I must declare all dice I need to. So I'm gonna. It would have made sense to re-roll 2 dice to give myself the max chance of getting on the 6th level. I don't know what pushback is gonna do for me at this point. So yeah, I would have just declared to roll both of them. I basically got the same roll anyway, and I have failed. I failed everybody, including myself. This just gets discarded. So now this is just a 3 and a 1. The Kratos pool gets cleared, and I'll add an opening token and a break token with my 2 other Kratos table abilities in the second ability window. My rage, yeah, 4-2-2. That makes sense. We're gonna now go to the Hecaton's turn. So the Hecaton round, we're gonna draw an AI card from the 3 that are here. I rolled a 3, so it is the last level 1 AI card in the draw pile. Right hook. Target is the closest Titan in front. That, my friends, is Olympia. I need to roll 2 evade dice. So here we go, this and this. And we are going to... we need a 10 or better to successfully evade this. I don't think that's going to work. Now, I do have the double reroll with the Shipwrecker Shield, but we'll see. We'll see. Bam! I rolled a 10! Woo! Clean living, kids. So... Oh, my fate is a 6 or higher. Oh, man, I'm so, like... So it's actually one more die I need to roll on the evade. Woof. Not a 10. So that's going to be 2 danger. I think I just take it. Oh, I get the 2 rerolls. Yeah, so I'm going to do my free rerolls and try to get a 10 with one of these. Oh, another 10. Look at that. That's a crit evade too. That's amazing. So I take 1 danger. Remember, it was an additional die because my fate was so high. So I take 1 danger. Danger. My crit evade, I place 2 opening tokens in the Kratos pool. So that triggers that. And then I'm going to draw a grave trauma card, or a major trauma card. Yeah, I drew the right one. A major trauma card based on this table because my danger is up to 5. Marked for death. Gain this card and the priority target token. While you have this card, you cannot lose this token. I'm going to have the priority target token anyways, so who cares? That's fine. Don't care too much about that. Great. We're going to finish the rest of this attack. After attack, knockback 5. That becomes knockback 3 because of the friendly warning. So we just go right there. This attack is carried out. And now we go to the Titan turns. Olympia is going to go first because she is made for moments like this, people. She's going to... Look at that opening. Woof. Yeah, Olympia Raz Heraclides. I think that makes sense. So she's going to take a fate and do a rush. She's up to 7 fate because I'm just like, living dangerously right now. So 1, 2, 3. She's attacking with a white and a black. Remember, there are 3 opening tokens in there, so we're going to hit on a lot of rolls. Our rage goes up to 5 as well. I didn't even look at the roll. I'm scared to. 7 and a 1. That's garbage. I'm going to go to my fate to an 8, which is really bad. Reroll the crit die. It's a 2. That's horrendous. I can't re-roll it. So here we are. I have one hit. Woof. We did hit once. We're going to roll for the body part card. It's a 2. Here we go. The runt. This is what I've needed all my life. So I am rolling. If I fail pushback 2, it would be very hard to fail this. I'm going to roll 1 power die for the hit, 1 power die, which is my natural roll. I do have a reroll ability, and there's already a break token in there. Plus there's an auto break because I did a rush. So odds are pretty good. There we go. That's 1 hit, plus I can use a break token to turn that into a hit, so that's 2 hits. The runt is defeated. So this is a fail effect. I did not fail, so I can avoid that. This goes over here. This is our 5th wound in here. That was a level 1 card, so we get a level 2 card added. I think I have 3 of them left. Seems accurate. I'm going to add this one. And there are no more level 1 cards in the AI deck, so we're going to get a level 1 card out of the discard pile. And then I think because we do that, I think everything gets shuffled back into the main deck for the actions. So we're going to get rid of one of these cards. That's a 4. And we get a level 2 AI card. There's 3 of them. That goes there. And then I think since we took it out of the discard pile, I think it gets added right back into the deck. So there's the escalation chart, which is very, very helpful. That is on page 53. AI. Yeah. Wait, if you hold on. 63, it's 53. If you remove the card from the discard pile, shuffle the discard pile into the AI deck, shuffle an AI 2 card from the discard into the So I don't. That's worded weird, but yeah, all 6 of these are now back into here. All right. Good job, Olympia. So this gets cleared. We can do a pushback. Sure. Pushback 1 using that ability on 4. That is a pushback, right? Yup. And then we're going to have the ability to add an opening token and a break token. These body parts are going to get harder and harder and harder. So I don't love my chances right now, especially with my not amazingly great understanding of how this game's supposed to be played. All right, we'll do that. Do I just add break tokens? Woof. No, I need the max number of dice. All right, that's fine. We're gonna go to Raz's turn. She's gonna take a fate because she's at 2 danger now, so she can also do this rush. We'll get an auto break token in there. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna add up break tokens. I'm doing the rush. We're doing an attack, the crit die, and then the 2 black dice. I hit on a 6 or better. 4, 2, 5. That's exactly the roll I was hoping for. All right, I'm going to reroll 2, get my fate up to 6. White die and a black die. There we go, a 6 and a 7, so that's 2 hits. Now I'm going to get a red die and 2 more red die, 1 for each of my 2 hits. And we're going to have to figure out what body part we're up against. So again, we are pretty much out of level 1 body parts. There was 1 in there, I think. Oh, there's 2 in here. Does that make sense? 2 in here, and then 4 in here, and then 1 level 2. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's going to be a level 2 or a level 3 body part. Don't like my chances. It's a 6, so level 2. I need a 5. It's a muscular bicep thighs. If I wound, problems. If I don't wound, nothing. I'm rolling these 3 power dice. My rage should be up to a 3. So I get 1 reroll, which isn't amazing. But I have 2 break tokens in there, so my odds aren't terrible. Woof. Alright, I'm going to use my 1 reroll. Oh my gosh! Oh, I had a 1 in a 6 chance of failing that with that situation. That was grotesque. I literally rolled perfect with those 2, and then I just needed anything but the blank, and I rolled the blank. I rolled it again. Well, I failed to wound that. That just goes here. So we're about to get that pile back, which is good. What a garbage roll that was. Kratos pool clears. I can add 1 of each back with my Kratos table abilities. I also have reposition 2, and I have an opening thing here, so we're gonna add another one of those. Actually, dude, level 3 is gonna be so rough. I don't think this is gonna go well. Oh man. I'll add another break. So I added the opening there, and then I have the level 1 and level 3 of the Kratos table. So we just did that. I have the reposition 2. I'm gonna go here. Excellent. So we're now going to go to Heraclides' turn. Heraclides is just going to attack first. So we'll have his movement action in reserve. Heraclides is attacking with the Kratos Copters. Coptos. During your first ability window, probably not worth it. So yeah, we're going to attack with the 1 white die, the 2 black dice. 1 black dice, sorry, only rolling 2 dice with the Kratos Copus. And bam, woof. I mean, I don't think I'm going to hit anyway, but I want to add tokens, so I'm going to re-roll, take 1 fate draw. I mean, I hit on a 5 or better. I'll take 2 fate, whatever. 5 or better. There we go. 2 hits. So with the 2 hits, I already have 2 break tokens in there. I don't think it makes sense to do the sacrifice. We draw the level 3 body part card. I need a 6. That's not going to happen. I'm rolling 3 red dice. I mean, it could happen. My rage is a 3. I have the 1 reroll. Woo! Okay. Is that right? Yeah, it was 4-2-2. Yeah, it's 5-3-3. Makes sense. If I fail, bad things happen. Oh, I gained 3 danger. Woof. That's not good. Miracle roll. Ugh. Yeah, I don't have a chance. I can't get the 6. Oh god, it looks so good too. I got a 5 and needed a 6. That's hilarious. I needed a 5 and I got a 4. I needed a 6. I got a 5. This is about how this is going. Woof. So not wounded. I failed. Push back 2. So he's gonna turn to face me. He goes 1, 2. I gain 3 danger, which gets me up to 5. And I get knocked back 5, becomes knocked back 3. So 1, 2, 3. Alrighty then. Kratos pool clears. And then I have my Kratos table abilities. I'll add an opening token and a break token, and this goes here. And I believe that this gets reshuffled now, and that's how we're going to get some of the chances to get back at these level 2 cards. Man, if I had defeated this, that would have been very nice. It becomes a double wound. So level 3 cards count for 2, so that would have got me up to 7. So we would just use this card here. This would have gotten reshuffled back in, but would have been a nice thing to get. Now, if you critically wound something, which I haven't done yet, this actually comes out of the game, it counts as 2, and then it gives me a core, which can be really, really nice for development. I haven't seen how all that plays out, but hopefully that can happen soon. Now you can see if Heracles are still alive, my chances of actually pulling this off would be a lot better. The fact that I got that to 3 Titans so quick, I don't think this is going to end well for me. So maybe we'll just have to revisit this next week, and hopefully things will go a little smoother. All right, so we're going to the AI turn, or the Dingle Nuts' turn, whatever your name is. He rolled a 4, so we get a level 3 attack right off the bat. It is the Thunderclash. So going after the priority target in range, definitely in range. Turns around, moves, faces, is attacking Olympia. I roll 2 dice. Each hit deals 3 AI. My fate is 6, so it deals 4 AI. So I definitely need to block both of these. I need 8s or better, or Olympia is probably not long for this world. So I've got the white die and a black die. I get the 2 rerolls with the Shipwrecker shield. So, 8s or better. 1 8 and a 6, which I thought was a 9 for a second. I am going to re-roll that. I only have, this is it, my only chance to re-roll it. And, oh, clean living, kids. Evade, no hits. Whoa. Yeah, so no draw. I do get knocked down? What? That's garbage. So I get knocked down, and then maybe I'll get up again. But that sucks. So I get the knockdown card. It's not a crash or anything, so I don't suffer damage from it. But I'm falling, and we get after attack knockback 8. So knockback 8 becomes knockback 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She goes over there. Most excellent. All right, we're gonna go from that, and now we go to this card is discarded, so that strong attack is out. So that's a good thing. And now we go to the these people, Titan turns. Remember, Raz can't go last. Olympia is gonna have no turn whatsoever. And yeah, it's not very good. Not very good at all. So we're going to, and again, you can't even forgo I can't have a turn, so I can refresh my Minoan heritage. No, cause that takes an action, and I have no actions to spend because I have fallen on my butt. It's a technical term. All right, Heraclides. I never actually used his movement action, which is fine. Raz can't go last, so I'm just gonna make her go first to make sure she has something in the pool to use. So Raz is going to attack first. She'll have her movement right. Oh, I still had it after he got pushed. I still had his movement action. Yes. So I'm gonna actually move him. I'll just move him 1 there. Makes sense. It gives him a chance for a rush. All right. So that was just from last round. Because remember, I did the attack first. Raz is doing the same thing. She's attacking first. She's attacking with 3 dice. We have the white die, 2 black dice. We have 1 opening token in there, no addition there. So I hit on 6s or better. My fate's already at a 6, so that's not very good. Bam. Oh, I rolled a 1 on the crit die. I'm gonna take a fate to re-roll this 1 because I got 2 7s. Otherwise, I rolled a 5. Woof. All right, so we hit with 2. I get the red die and 2 other red dice for the actual power roll. Remember, there's 1 break token in there. We are going to see what body part we're attacking. Remember, there's 6 cards back in here. I rolled a 2. 2 is a level 2 body part. I need 5 to get this done. I'm going to roll a 4 again. I feel it coming. My rage is up to a 4, so I do get 2 power dice rerolls. That could be nice. If I wound, some bad things happen. Woof. That's horrendous. That's really bad. I have no chance of getting this done. I rolled a 1, people. It's so nice. Yeah, it's really bad. not going to. Well, I'll reroll. That doesn't matter. I can't get the 5. I mean, that would be whatever. Fine. I'll reroll these 2 with both of my abilities from level 2 and level 4. It would have to be perfect, perfect. Yeah, not quite. I failed. No effect for failing. This gets discarded. And now she has a movement action, which she can do. She also has the second ability windows, so I'll add a opening token. So this clears. I can add 2 Kratos tokens. I'll add an opening token and a break token for Mr. Heraclides over here, and then she will just move 1, 2, 3, because why not? So that was her movement action. Heraclides is going to go. Heraclides is going to take a fate and do a compound action, or a complicated action. I forget what they call it. We're going to move 3. We do an auto break, so we add another break token into there. We're attacking with 2 dice. We have a white dice and a black die. I rolled a 1 and a 4. Yay. Well, let's get the fate 9. So no more fate for him. So rolling 2 dice. I rolled a 1 and a 4 again. I missed. Well, since I missed, I can't do any second abilities, so the Kratos pool just clears. I don't add anything else. This has gone poorly. And yeah, that's about right. He has no movement. He's totally done. Again, that was a compound action. It took both of his fate's at 9. He gets a 10th fate. He dies. And that's about how that's going to go. Olympia is just going to stand up, or she's standing up. That's her whole turn. The Kratos pool is empty going into the next round, and we are in trouble. The AI is going to do the Hecatons going to do their turn. They rolled a 5, so it's this card. Smash! Target, priority target. Can we get there with the movement of 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure can. That is in range is totally attacking me. Since my fate is super high, we have to roll 3, and I only evade on a 9 or higher. We're going to roll the white die and the 2 black dice. Only evade on 9s or higher. I rolled a 1, 2, and an 8. This, my friends, is not a good roll. I'm going to take 1 fate to re-roll the crit die. So she's up to 9 fate. I have not evaded anything. I get 6 danger. That gets me up to 11 dangers. So bad things happen. So this doesn't go higher than a 9, but what it means is I'm effectively out of 11. And when you get to a certain level, things get added, which is, nope, 14 or higher. We add another bad card to the obol draw. I have to take trauma. We're going to just roll a die and see if I'm still alive. I rolled a 4. And you died. So Olympia's dead. That was not that unexpected. So Olympia's dead, and now we're down to the 2 people who can't get freaking anything done. This is going to go over here to Raz. Wait, why is her rage a 4? His is only a 3. Their rages should be equal. Yeah, they both just attacked, and she didn't. So they were at the same rage level. I just forgot to move Heraclides' rage up. Woof. Yeah, our fates are really bad. Hecaton's action is done and done. We're gonna go to Heraclides. Woof. Now we'll do Raz first because she can't go last. So 1, 2. There's no tokens in there. She's rolling 3 dice. We have a white and 2 blacks. I hit on a 7 or better. Again, no tokens at all in there. Bam, I rolled an 8. So we have 1 hit. I'm going to roll 2 red dice for the power roll. They're going to see what's in here. This is snowballed very poorly. Hey, it's a level 1, so you're saying there's a chance. We only need a 4 to hit. If we fail, bad things happen. Again, there's no break tokens in there at all, so I literally need to roll the equivalent of double 6s. I do have, this is at 5, so I do have, oh, I get an extra red die. There we go. Nice. So I have 3 red dice, and I do need to, I hit, oh, did I do that with her? I think I failed to do that with Olympia, her last attack. I mean, it's very too late. And I think she actually still successfully wounded, so I don't think it mattered. These guys have been the ones who've been struggling, so we're rolling 3 red dice. I need a 4. I have no break tokens. I do have 2 rerolls. That will do it. Look at me. All right, so I succeeded. No bad effects. This comes over here. That's our 6th wound. We're going to have to add a level 2 body part. There's not many left over here. There's only 2. So we're going to add that one. We're going to take a level 1 card out of the AI deck. Oh, wait, that was a level 1, yeah. Level 1 card out of the AI deck. There's only 1 in here. So that's out. And we add a level 2 AI card. There's only 2 in here. That's a 2. That goes there. So is one of these a level 1? Yeah, that smash was a level 1. Of course it was. And it killed Olympia. So who knows how these things work? All right, so she successfully attacked him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He cannot get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woof. Cannot get there still. Yeah, can't take any more fate, so I can't do rush. There was no response. There was no pushback. We're just done. We get an opening token, so they are going to be 1 off again. He'll use his movement action to go 1, 2, 3. Why not? She put the opening token, but then it just comes away on his turn because he does not make an attack. No, it stays there until the next attack. Right. Because the attack sequence is not initiated. And then she has these tokens here, so we'll put a break token and another break token because we're going to need a lot of damage on these power rolls. And we'll see. Yeah, I have no way of getting break tokens with Russian anymore. With Heraclides, I can do it a little bit more with Raz, but not super bullish on my chances here. All right, AI is going to go. We're rolling a die. I rolled a 5. Bam, I rolled a 3. Booyah. Rumple Strike. Target is Zone 2. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, kids. Woo! All right. Let's go and see some of the comments. I want to learn the rules better, says George. Yeah, which one of the worst decisions in the game? Place him in the back. We decided to start playing the set that we would mess up rules, which we did. Yeah, for real. Just putting rules on the back of anything that should be have been face up on the table is just obnoxious. In many ways, this game feels exactly the first game of a team that is super enthusiastic and motivated, has good design sentiments, but is simply not well versed in making good UI and UX choices. Excellent. I would strongly advise to start limiting your fate use. The Titans will go nuts. I'm screwed. You should choose all rerolls at once. That major trauma could have been much worse. If you push now, you could move the enemy right in front of your other Titans, so it can start by attacking and move away if need be, just as an option. You should eventually just start adding only break tokens. Greg's game versus this is largely based on dice luck. What do we expect? Let's be honest. She lives. I'm not sure why you truly understand how risky this is with fate, but okay, you will learn. Oh wow, that's a lot of fate. Gonna be there's guys. Plus, if some effect gives fate that you have to take. This is how the level 1 Hecaton fight is meant to go. Its early stage seems drastically harder than how level 1-0 went. Our first several fights all included 2 Titan deaths each. Yeah, I think I just got a little unlucky early. Like losing my 4th Titan early has dramatically changed how this is feeling to me, I think. Our first 2 fights, that early first was obviously exceedingly unlucky. You can safely raise the fate when you wound and discard level 1 backup plans and AI cards, and afterwards raise again for level 3 cards. Level 1 AI extra hit, extra 3, level 2 around 5 to 6 fate. So far we have had perhaps 12 fights or so in the campaign. We only had 1 so far with 0 Titan losses. Like the monster, at first you kind of luck dependent with not much tactics. After you gain better gear, you can mitigate smart play your fights, says Ophir. Ophir agreed. Also, once you understand the enemy behaves, you improve a bunch. But at KDM, it is not that hard to win with early quarry fights without a loss of a survivor. I guess Titans are more expendable. George don't know. You can easily die on intro line, even if you are experienced, because you just attack from behind and hope for the best, says Ophir. And Sagitt says there are also some very cool ways to die. It will come a bit later on, but man, was that amazing. You're domesticated, says George. Venomman is sorry if you explained it early in the stream, but why do you use D6 or choose AIB card? The way you do it, you lose open information about level of next card. Oh, interesting. Fair point. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just used to. I just don't like the small decks of cards. I feel like I never truly get them random, but like that's actually a point. I don't know how much it would affect my gameplay with my current understanding of the game, but I do like the point. Zone area of attack effect. Open information about level of this card can be very important, says George. Yeah, agreed. I will rethink my ways. You've shown me the error in my ways. Yeah, it's just something I do, like, because I'm a weirdo, more than anything. What is zone 2? Is it just anything within range 2? I am not aware of zone 2. I am not aware of zone 1. How would I know what zone 2 is? Zone 2. Is that in the rulebook? I mean, this has got to be explained. All right. I'm gonna not survive this, I don't think, in range. Zone. All space in the area. Some zones are made for narrative reasons. I mean, zone 2. I mean, is there a zone? Is this anything within 2? I'm guessing it's anything within 2. That seems like it makes the most sense. Turns to face. It doesn't turn to face in a zone attack. Zone 2 example. Yeah, it's anything within range 2, and it's just going to attack Heraclides. No. Raz. Alright, so we're attacking Raz with a Rumble Strike. I rolled 2 dice. No impact on my fate being so high. So that's a little lucky. We are going to roll a white die and a black die. Each hit deals 1 trauma, which is 1 danger, but she only has 2 danger, miraculously, so this is not the worst. I rolled a 1 and a 7, so I take 2 danger. Oh, man, I cannot waste my fate on this, so that is fine. So I take 4 danger. I go to my danger chart. I take a major trauma. Counterattack, you may move with the 3 space before a bonus attack. If you have the knockdown falling down ability, immediately stand up again instead. That's great. So I'm going to do a bonus attack. We have all that in the Kratos pool. We're going to go through the entire attack sequence, including raising my rage to 6. And we are attacking. I'm attacking with my Siren Teeth. There's 1 opening token in there. And the bonus attack is going to cause a chain break, so the rest of this doesn't happen. Wolf, because they performed the signature, everything. Yeah, so the rest of this is just broken. If I'm understanding the rules right, so the rest of the card could just be discarded. So again, another lucky major trauma draw. I'm rolling a white and 2. I did shuffle that. I promise. I promise. I'm rolling 3 dice. I hit on a 6 or higher because I have an opening token in there. It would not have moved because it was a zone attack, so it's not specifically going to face me. I have 2 hits. That's a great freaking roll. Great. So I'm going to have a red die naturally, 1 red die for each hit, another red die because my rage is raging. My rage is raging. So I'm rolling 4 red dice. I'm going to have to figure out what body part I'm up against. I rolled a 5, and we just take the top card here. I'm going to keep doing as I do like the point that was made earlier, but in the comments, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing for today and then consider my life choices later. If I fail, this would be gross. I only need a 5 to succeed. I've had no critical hits yet, unfortunately, but I only need 5. We have 1 break token in there, 4 dice. I get 2 rerolls. What could go wrong, people? That's 4. Yeah, I'm just gonna reroll 1 die because I have the break. I have 2 break tokens. I'm good. I'm good. We win. We did it. We get 2 break tokens. I don't know why I said 1. Bam! I'm gonna do the 1 reroll for free because I can. I'm going to do the hit. This goes away. There's no damage, nothing special for wounding, just something special for failing. So we get up to a 7. So 7 of 10. We're going to replace this with a level 3 body part. There's 5 of these left. Boo-doo-doo. That's a 1. This gets added to the thing. We remove a level 2 AI card. There are 3 left. They always prioritize getting removed from the draw pile. We remove this. That's a 1. This goes away. And we add a level 3 AI card. There are 5 of them left. 2. Most excellent. That goes there. So escalation is done. Why do I have a level 2 body part in my hand? 5. Oh, this goes here. Yeah, there's 1 of those left. 1 of those left. That makes sense. Right. So we added a level 3. So there'd be 2 level 3 body parts in here now. All right. I mean, there's a level 1 body. If I get 1 level 3 and a level 1, I actually somehow will miraculously survive this. End of that, Kratos will goes away. I can add 3 tokens though. I'm going to add 1 opening and 2 break. I also have this ability to add another opening. So let me actually have 1 break and 3 break. Break. Opening. I can also reposition 2. And I can do some pushback. Don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Oh, my rage is up 1 more already. Yeah, I think my rage is... I think I already messed with my rage. He was 1 behind, now he's 2 behind, which makes sense. So, Heraclides is going to go... Raz is going to go 1, 2 with her reposition ability. And she puts in another... Well, she put the opening token and the 3 break tokens because of the Kratos table. So that's all good. Woo! All right. Ophir, I shuffle them with a d6 and have that open info. Yes, smart. Sagitt, zone attack. Thank you. Page 40. There's no picture that everything with X-rays denoted will be attacked. Anything within 2. Yeah, some AI targets will have a nice chessboard like diagrams. Chain break happens. Correct. So they actually love getting those major dramas, main benefits, minor, mostly bad outcomes. Yeah, I've just learned that. Sagitt, yeah, there's some copies of Disemboweled in there, which are less fun. Yeah, there's that. This is why it's weird when there isn't second chance on advanced gear. I do have a second chance over here with Raz. She's still priority target. Oh, I have to have her go first. Stupid. So yeah, she didn't move. I have to have her go first because I can't have her go last because of her fated mean amnesia meanness. I'd be such a bad Greek. All right. Woo! What's going on, kids? Do I want 2 opening and 2 break tokens? Kind of. All right, I'm gonna get 2 openings and 2 break tokens because I know she has to go first. We are in the Titan phase. Let's make it happen. This goes up to 7. She's attacking. Again, I undid my reposition up there. I just positioned her there. She'll attack first, then she can move. I don't know why I did that for move. Just It felt good. All right. One. Can I get a crit hit, please? Let's do 3 dice with the siren teeth. I hit on a 5 or better. Make it happen. Oh, it's so terrible. I'm going to. I think I have to go for it at this point. I'm like so screwed. I just one hit is not enough. I'm maxing this out, man. It is what it is. I have no more fate. Just make it happen. I'm getting this done. I need a 5 or better. When can I have a better chance of this? Ugh! I got 1. All right, so I get 1 red die because that's what I naturally have. 1 red die from my Kratos table, and then 2 red dice because 1 for each hit. And I have no more fate. It just is what it is. What body part am I up against today, kids? I rolled a 4. It's a level 2. Interesting. All right. I need a 5. If I wound it, some bad stuff happens. Great. No problem. We're good. So I roll these 4 dice. I need a 5. I have 2 break tokens in there. What could go wrong? Done. Got one damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, 2 break tokens gets me to 5. We have successfully wounded this. When I get wounded, I get pushed back 1, so he turns to face me, pushes me back. That's so rude. And then he's going to knock me back 5. Instead, I can reduce that by 2. I can reduce it by up. I can reduce by 2. Yeah, I'll just reduce it to a 1. That seems like the way to go. This is out. This gets me up to an 8. We're going to take a level 3 body part card. That's a 6. That's not good. It's a 1. We need a level 3 AI card. That's a 3. We'll take out a level 2 AI card. That's a 2. You are out. This gets added here. And this should just be added here. So 3 level 3s and 2 level 2 and a level 1. Woo! All right. So she still has all this other crap. So this gets cleared. She has opening 1, reposition, 1, 2. Why not? And then we're going to do an opening and 2 break. Wolf. Yeah, so 2 openings, 2 breaks. I'm just worried about not getting enough red dice. Man. No, I'll do 3 breaks and an opening. It's fine. So second ability window stuff is done. We now go to Heraclides' turn. Heraclides goes 1, 2. Heraclides is going to attack. Rage is going to go up to a 5. Grr. We are rolling a white die and a black die. I only hit on 5 or better. I cannot do any rerolls, so I best not miss. I'll roll a 1 and a 3. Woo! Alright, that sucked. Well, I have no rerolls, so 1 of the 3 was actually a total critical miss, but that's not triggered by anything. The unfortunate thing is, since I completely missed, I can't do my abilities, so this whole table is cleaned out. That was very bad. But it doesn't like retaliate or anything. I'm just it's crazy too, because I could sacrifice during the first window to take a danger to get another break token. I could have got like a million break tokens. But doesn't matter when you don't actually hit. So AI is going to attack now. We have 3 cards in there, a level 2, a level 3, and a level 3. I don't think this is going to end well. Oh, level 2 card. There we go. Chain Fist. Who's the priority? Raz. All right. Priority target in range. We can do this. Move, move, move. And is going to attack. My fate is really bad. I roll 3 dice and I only do evasions on a 9 plus. Remember, I do have the second chance here too, which is super nice. Oh, I have to take a fate for that. Whoops. Nope, don't have the second chance anymore. Never mind. That went away. So, each hit deals a danger. That's not horrible. Most we're going to get is 3 hits here. So, again, not terrible. And I got 2 6s and a 4. Not a single 9. So, 3 danger gets me up to 7. And we're going to get a 7 means we get a grave trauma. Heroic life. You will probably die, but until then, you will fight the primordial with your being. Immediately stand up, move up to 3 spaces, and perform a bonus attack. If you deal a wound to the primordial, you will live, and you will feel a new zest for life. Lose 2 fate and 2 danger. If you do not deal a wound, you die. If you have the spark of dead god's technology, roll the 10. On a 10, you awaken. Shuffle this card back into the trauma deck. Woof. What is going on, man? All right, yeah, these cards are nuts. I've never seen any of these. These are like legit responses. I am like, okay. Great. Bonus attack. Done. I need to do a wound or I die. Easy. Sounds great. So this is all carried out because this is a chain break. And I'm attacking. My rage goes to an 8. Because that's cool. Wait, if my rage is at a 9 and I attack, what happens then? So bananas, dude. If my rage is at a 9 and I attack, what happens then? These are good questions, kids. I only ask good questions, really. Titan turns. Can I just not attack? I'm assuming I can attack. Check rage. It doesn't say. So I just can't attack? Like literally just can't attack. Okay. Well, hopefully we get the level 1 body part here. I'm rolling 3 dice. I only hit on a 7. I have nothing in the pool because Heraclides whiffed like a champ. And I need to hit. Bam! Oh, 3 hits! What? That's freaking bananas. All right, so she's at an 8. She hits. This would be huge. All right, give me a level 1 or level 2 body forward. I would love to roll a 1 or a 2. I have 3 hits. I would love to roll a 1 or a 2. 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 A 6. There's only 5 cards. Sucker. 1 or a 2. Level 3. Well, this would win me the game. I need 6. Failing's bad. Failing would kill me. Well, failing I die anyway. So here we go. I have a red die. I get a natural red die, and then I get 3 more hits. I have 0 break tokens. This is so bad. Oh man, this is so bad. Wait. All right. You need to go for it. At this point, I'm not sure you have a chance to win if the beast gets 2 more turns. We saw Greg get a before situations ever to quit half game in. We also seen him lose from almost certain victories. Yeah, we have. I don't think it's a win here, but I'm rooting for the good guy. Well, here we go. And a crit miss. It's just me or is it a bad idea to spend fate for rerolls early? Yeah, it's probably bad. Time to summon Ocean's Hungry Grasp. Do or die. I'm not sure you should have discard yet. Is this cycle 2? No, Awakening comes later. You draw a Kratos card. You draw a crit but the card says if you awaken to. I can't be thinking he should not have this card yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Really, where does it say you could max rage? It's in the deck, dude. I don't know why it wouldn't be in there. There's nothing in there saying I shouldn't have this. It's if. I don't know, dude. I mean, I took out all the cycle cards. Oh, maybe that's an errata. Let me mix it with my Moros cards. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that max when I'm on max rage, so I'm confused. But I have no break tokens, and I absolutely rolled the absolute worst roll. Like any other card here would have been fabulous. But all I need is a 6. I just need to hit a couple of these, and we're good. 6. Give me 6 damage. Do it for the kids. Bam. Oh. I got 4. I would have killed this. I would have killed this. 8 and 5. Woof. I would have definitely killed the 1 or the 2. Yikes. Well, that was a failure. So, if you do not deal a wound, you die. Bam! Dead. And that ends their turn. Alrighty then. Shuffle this card back into the trauma deck. Heraclides, you've been woefully unimpressive, but it's up to you, buddy. It is up to you. This goes here. Oh, I have rerolls. I do have rerolls. Hold on. I forgot I have rerolls. Right. Second ability. So this is the 4. And I'm rerolling these 2 dice. Oh, Sagitt, did you save my day? Did you save my day? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah! You just made it worse. Oh, I'm so bad at life. Yeah, I got the 1. I have 5. I needed 6. That's really gross. Anyway, well, that was fun. I thought I had a chance, and I didn't. I still do the ability windows, right? I think I still carry that out as like my dying wish. I still think I get all this, but if this is wrong, somebody can let me know. But I'm gonna get 4. I think I just do. Oh man, I need these level 2 cards, dude. Woof. Yeah, we're gonna do 3 break tokens and 1. I think that all still happens. Then I'm dead. Woof. All right. Yeah, I forgot about my Kratos table. How could I forget? All right, Heraclides, what's going on? So you get the 6 rage, because, you know, you're a raging fiend. You're the only one left alive, baby. Let's make it happen. We're going to go and attack. We're attacking with a white die and a black die. And I hit on 5s or better. Woof. Heraclides is so useless. Yeah, dude. That's 4 misses in a row for him. Most excellent, sir. Most excellent. You are a champion. So I don't get any of this, and I do have my move action, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. No, I mean there's no great place to go right now. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least get some extra evade power. Woof. That was some hilariously bad rolling. AI! Make it happen. I didn't even wound the sucker. That's so gross. All right, there we go. 2. We get a level 2 AI card. This can't end well. I'm definitely the priority target because everyone else is dead. Priority target in range. I am in range. I am... Wolf. I die if I take any damage. So I need 3, 9 or better. And I have no... Yeah, because my faith's so high. Yeah, I die if I take any damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in the city, so I get +1 to my evasion rolls. So I'm rolling 3 dice, and I need to roll 3 8s or better. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna end well. Booyah! I rolled 1 8 and super dead. Woo! All right, that ended poorly. I will be back next week. Um, Ophir says 2 rerolls. Yeah, that's how the Morris card works. I had the same question, and I asked in their Discord, and they told me if you go over max rage, you just die. No cards drawn. No ability window if you die. Well, didn't matter. Yeah, I was mixing it up. It's yours, so this includes the attempt to play ATO on the channel. It's your day. Regarding the rage above 9, if you die after your action, you can still have one last final attack. Right, rip, TPK. Oh, fear, I'm confused. So, do you get your rage to 10 and then do the attack, or can you not? I thought you can't voluntarily go over 9, right? I think you're just toast. Like, you just can't even attack. No, it's not even an oval draw, dude. It's not even an oval draw. It's at 8+. If you didn't, it's like basically 8+. If I got any damage at all, if I was at 8, if my fate was at 8+, I just die. It just says you die. If you didn't die, each hit deals. Right. No, it just if I'm reading this right, it's just basically you die. It's not even a question. You still draw oval now. You have a chance to live. Really? Would that have been true though for that other card that said I die? I don't think that doesn't sound right, because I had this other card that just basically said you die. If you not deal when you die, I mean, why is heroic life different than that? It just says you die. I mean, I'll do an oval draw. It's on the AI card, right? Oh yeah, sorry. So for can't volunteer is above 9. Yeah, it's all in my head somewhere, man. But this game's a lot. But this was fun. I mean, I feel like I learned something. I mean, very seriously, and I don't want to be like the kid in class who just didn't do their homework. Like, I hope it shows like how much time I did spend trying to get my head wrapped around this. Like, I just felt like I would learn more in 3 hours of getting this on the channel with the chat and comments, and then I would have in 20 hours of trying to get this off camera. And I just thought it was cool to really just get the campaign going. I'm gonna take a mulligan on this, and we'll come back. I don't think I think it's silly to spend a Siphius tear this early. I don't feel a real reason to like go through and just kind of do everything I already did. So we'll come back next week, and I'll come back at this battle. I do appreciate the clarifications. I'm going to spend more time on the BGG forums. I've already spent a bit of time there. I am confused about a lot of this tile and why the red lines stop and why they start, and I think the placement of that was right. I do appreciate learning about crash. The fact that, again, I mean, I'm 2 away. I mean, I got 8 wounds on there with not rolling especially great, and I had 3 titans. I think if it's hard to imagine that a 4th titan, especially with the boat mace and the siren panoply armor, it's hard to imagine I wouldn't have found a way to win with the Ocules. So I think just getting stuck where I couldn't get displaced and just getting smushed by this thing. This mini is really cool, man. These minis do remind me of Madara a lot, actually. Just like the level of detail and just how they feel. They're very light, but still obviously very well made. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Such a crazy sculpt. This game does a lot of weird things that shouldn't work, but they do. And I'm like scratching the very surface of it, and I'm already feeling that. You draw if your danger is 9+, and that was on the AI card. Nah, that was cool, man. That was cool. Come on. Plus, finally, the bad guys won. Strike 1. Yeah, maybe I'll take on. I'll choose the other adversary. What the hell's his name? Ooh, where are you? He's over here. He's over here. Labyrinthoros, who's a bull who looks like a beetle to me on his picture. But I get I get what they did here. It just still looks like a beetle to me. Yeah, maybe I'll take on him. Be fun. Start learning some of his cards. It's crazy. Lots of surprises in this one. I did not realize what was in those grave trauma and major trauma decks as much, and um, yeah, it was cool. But I do plan. I think this is going to be a weekly thing for a while, and I think I'm gonna. I'll see where that goes, and if people want to, if this motivates people to kind of work through their campaign with me, that'd be freaking cool. And just make sure you go ahead of time so you can tell me everything I'm doing wrong. um, but yeah, I really dig this game and dig Into the Unknown, give me a chance to kind of feature it. So checking out again, the Kickstarter is out now. There's so much content in this game, and it is not cheap. I will say I'm impressed with it for the component quality and impressed with just everything there. It is the biggest game I own. I mean, I'm looking at Frosthaven now. Frosthaven's taller, but I mean, this box, I mean, it dwarfs even Madara in a way, and in a way that's absolutely bananas. It's like almost double Cloudspire. It's just a huge box of content. The 3 full cycles. I felt I did not go for Madara Act 2 because I'm like, I'll worry about that if I ever get through Act 1. I might go ahead and get more content for this game because I do think it's drawing me in as something that's realistic for me to play through a bit more than Madara has. Like Madara, I'm still waiting for 3 friends to play that campaign with. It's definitely not something I think I would enjoy by myself. This seems a little bit more accessible, controlling 4 characters, but it's still a lot. I mean, it's definitely a lot to remember and keep track of. There's a rhythm to this one though that seems a little bit more accessible. The fact that it's like move then action, and like the action point spending is a little bit more straightforward. The AI is a bit more straightforward. The targeting is more straightforward. Like there's a lot of things. I mean, the train can get complicated, but I think that's one of those things. It's like if you're learning too many bones, you learn Cloudspire. Like I think you'll eventually get to a point where a lot of this becomes second nature. And it will just start to really flow. But it's a cool battle, man. It's a very cool thing. Why? What the hell is that coming out of the ground? It's a very strange detail. Woo! All right. Ophir says, wish I knew how to paint. George says, bye, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Saja says, Labby is tricky. I was just a wait on that. Oh, bye, George A. It was neat having you around. I find that Labby more difficult for myself. Yikes. Especially when trample hits, you really need good team tactics for that and ranged. Cool. I will try to get ranged. I have the ability to do, well, if I can survive the battle timeline, we can get into the rest of day 1, and that would include some upgrades. So I'm excited about that. And then the next timeline battle isn't until day 7. So it'd be like 6 days to really get set up, that I'm excited for. I'm excited for the exploration. I'm excited to kind of see where the rest of this goes. This was a really nice taste of like the late game battle with Hecaton, like you don't really get in the Learn to Play. But yeah, it's just a cool. The stamp on the bottom of this is a nice touch. It's pretty cool. It's cool. I dig it. But that's going to be the end of ATO today. Thank you so much for everyone making this fun and dealing with the confusion and the insanity and some really epic rolls in there. I mean, it's like come in 1 damage short. That would have been sick, right? On that with those rerolls. I mean, if I do that, I win the game, and it's fitting that it came down to a 1 die roll thing, even as I was kind of fumbling through most of this playthrough. So thanks again to Into the Unknown. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again for sure. And I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do a rematch for Spirit Island. We have the Trickster and Thunder Speaker against Scotland 6. I'm eager to try that again, so I just wanted to throw that back on the channel. And then Friday, we're going the very different direction, and I got some button shy games that I want to feature on Friday. We get the Rove expansions and Numsters. Review copy sent to me. It seems like a nice light Friday afternoon thing to do. Next week, you can plan to see ATO on Monday. And you know, I want to get too many bones back on the channel. We'll definitely have a mage night. Probably going to go with Volcara's Quest. Haven't featured that in quite a long time. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the next few weeks, and we'll see if we can't get deeper into this cycle uh, than getting stalled on day one. So I am taking a mulligan on this. I am not doing any Sisyphus tears, and I'm not. I don't even know what the bad, like the penalties for losing this are probably gross. Rewards. Resets casualties. Subtract 2. Argo. Discard all condition tokens from Titan sheets. Note dead Titans in the Argo sheet. Shuffle explorations. Defeat. Gain 1 doom and proceed to rewards penalties. Woof. If 2 or more Titans die, gain a doom. Woof. Oh, that's funny. If 2 or more Titans die during any battle. Wow, I totally forgot about that. If 2 or more Titans die during the battle, you can retreat at the beginning of any turn round. Gain +1 doom. That seems like a really bad idea. Victory, the primordial is slain. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing this one till I win it. Just to be quite honest, I don't really feel like starting a campaign super hobbled, but I love the challenge, so this one's a good one. By the way, the Kingdom Forlorn I mentioned earlier is another ITU game under development. Was Kickstarter after ATO cycles 1 through 3. Supposed to be massive with this one. Yeah, it's nuts, dude. My Forlorn budget is now blown on the second ATO Kickstarter. I cannot spend $1,000 on these G2 games. Oh god, because I thought you were saying Kingdom Forlorn was $1,000 by itself. Jesus, that's a lot of money. So another win tomorrow, right? Yay for Volky. I don't know. I got pretty humbled by Scotland 6 last time I tried that, so I'm excited to try it again. See if I can't get a win at all this week. Later retreat is more realistic. This early, just restart. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. But it's cool. I mean, it's cool to even like in the middle of this playthrough, just you kind of feel that rhythm kind of click. You know, I've said that before. Like all these games are like a dance, and just you got to learn the steps. This one, I think a lot of the way stuff is presented, there just should have been. Yeah, this game needs like just one really good double-sided player aid, and I think it would just make a world of difference. And I'm surprised like there isn't really one on BGG. I mean, I found a couple of things, but it just still seems a little disjointed to me. So, but I think it's just the nature of the game. This game is huge. It's a huge game with a lot going on. So, yeah, that's about it. We're good to go. I'll be done babbling for now, and thank you for joining me again for the 4th time. Like I'm out of practice, man. I haven't done this in like a week and a half, and I'm like, what do I say? What is words? How speak? This was fun. Cheers. See you next week. Thank you, sir. Have a good one. I am off. Questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And until next time, whenever that is, happy gaming.
Solo.